hid the key to the slam trunk? Wait, what? Huh? I'm confused. Oh well. It's good. Oh shit! I gotta fix that. That's no good. No, 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 no. You can see my under area. There we go. That's better. And then just gotta stretch things better. Ah! Bigger! 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 So now we got just you and me. And my socks, of course. But I think Kira's good. Is he good? Wait, if I lean back. Nope, no penny shots. That's good. Ah, thank you. Thank you for that, Spot. I appreciate it. Yeah. I made it myself to find out if I liked it. That's good. I like the size. That's much better. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I changed the thing. Category. I said category. There we are. That's better. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the reaction and art thing, if that's alright with you guys. Yeah. So, if you've got any videos, as long as they don't, cause problems with the Twitch terms of service, I'm happy to play them. And we can, enjoy. Sound good? I'm just moving things around in my setup for the moment. For the different thing. Yeah. Yeah. I'm working on some art. And, gonna do the reaction thingy. Just got to open up the right thing for a moment. Oh, that can get turned off. I don't need that on anymore. That can go there, and that can go there. Almost all set up. Almost. I'm almost all set up. Almost all set up. Almost all set up. Almost. 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 Set it up. Do do do. Ba ba da ba. get things set up with this one from Jade. And that comes over here. That stays over here. I'm just muttering because I don't have anything sorted out right now. Do, 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 do. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba, ba, bum, bum. Ooh.
It has long been.
Okay, now I put that there. Data mode. Let's go! I get it going, I'm getting it going. I'm working on it, working on it, working on it, YouTube. It put me in someone else's stream. Oh no. That's no good. What happened? I don't know why. Were you in Koji's? Did he raid? It's sweet trip to the candy shop. No, I was no. Why'd you do that? That's fucking weird. I don't know why I did that. I didn't know I could do that. It's like you went on a raid without me. But I didn't press that button. Huh. Did anyone else have that happen to them? Oh, that's my cat. That's my Tia. Yeah. That's my Tia. She's a cutie. Isn't she?
Oh, the weather! Right where they left off last Wednesday night at Dynamite.
Never turn your back on your opponent. That's rule number one when you want to wrestle.
This is from the spot. Not sponsored. It is animal cookies crossed with Cushman's.
Fight on our hands. Yeah, look at that. Just right across the throat with the boot goes Hater.
Look at this. Britt Baker on the outside.
Just like we talked about, Taz. I'm sorry, Excalibur.
The referee's
When
back
the
turn.
realization hit, oh, look how red.
And Taz, what does Thunder Rosa need to do to
My eyes
offset
are
and
fucked.
counter the advantage, the strength advantage that Jiggy Hater has?
She got to try to use her martial arts or jiu-jitsu to take down the bigger, stronger opponent in Hater.
I'm literally
Gotta take
crying.
it to the
Oh
mat.
my God.
Just
I don't know if my eyes are red from laughing so hard and getting teared up from that, or just from being lit.
It's Battle of the Bell.
Oh my god.
Champion.
This is what. So. Oh, the weather.
Right where they left off last Wednesday night at Dynamite.
Never turn your back on your opponent. That's rule number one when you want to wrestle.
This is from the spot. Not sponsored. It is.
I'm sorry I kept it going for longer than it needed to. Turns out I was in someone else's stream. That's just weird. I was in the kitchen. I heard Fall Guys music. That's really weird.
Give me one more chance, give me one more chance, give me one more chance, give me one more chance.
He can't be Kurt Angle for the WWF title. Can you argue that point? Can you disagree with that? Hell no.
I wanted one more chance.
That I will never retire.
The
the gun club in a bad way. We got the match in the bag cause it's trash day. No filter, I ain't Instagram. We make the ass boys retire like Vince McMahon.
He dragged my personal life into this. That's something that I would never, ever do. Do you understand me?
Yeah, I do.
What the hell? What the hell? My God! Let's talk about the main event tonight. Let's talk about Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the first time ever.
Madison
Don't go. Just
Rain
ignore her.
from one beautiful person to another.
Here we go.
She can only
Let
hurt.
the pigeons loose. That covers it all, folks.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
New vid from Promo Journal. Oh, okay. Is that what this is?
And you feel it, and it feels like a bag of sand when you're touching it.
What we just witnessed.
Never.
Look.
Well,
Man, fuck them kids, bro.
1, 2, 3. Blippi Tractor! Tractors,
What the
oh tractors.
Tractors.
They're so much fun.
Tractors, tractors.
And my God, we have that too. I mean, for God's sakes, I came.
you know it's all about the power.
Well, that's a bit, private, isn't
40,000
it?
plus here, Nissan Arena, Nashville, Tennessee. The stadium, Jimmy. There's no roof on this place.
Is it just me, or does Koji look smug in this picture?
Looks like the best friends headed to the stock market to do a business.
Look at that, Trent got taller.
Vincent Adultman, how are things at the old 9 to 5?
Good. I went to the stock market today. I did a business.
Your mother fly, sugar baby.
Kind of all by herself on this. She's got 3 of the top contenders.
Oh,
Ooh, right in the tit.
Yeah, Britt
That's
Baker,
got to
ranked
stay
number
with you.
3. Jamie Hayter ranked number 4.
you're talking to the Rolex. 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 Wearing son of a gun.
It's a pity I didn't get Koji's opinion on how his hair's looking here.
Especially people in the business. And I can say some names. There's a couple of chicks in WWE who said some stuff, and they should probably not have said that. They probably weren't trained any better. And in 6 months, they'll probably be asking us for a job anyways. And I'll remember that.
Change your game plan in that around is Shotzi. Trying to get Aaliyah to tap out.
Coley boy, congrats on the first win, man. Look at you all grown up. Last time that I remember you, Agogo was putting his fist
What do you
through
guys
your
think
ribs,
of his
but
hair so
relax.
far? Kind of looks like feathers more than fires. Look! I got a wet nose! It's like fire? That's good. I was... Fire's what I'm going for. It just looks kind of feathery to me. That's all. Free falling.
You asked for this match. I want you to remember that.
Oh yeah, I did.
This hand is going to be the last thing you see before I shut the lid on your coffin.
But if you say it looks like fire, I'm happy with that. I like turtles. I like turtles. I like turtles.
I'm
Turtles.
coming for you, Miz, at SummerSlam.
What the shit?
Understand?
I think I'm gonna see that in the middle of the night when I wake up, and I expect to see my sleep paralysis demon, but instead it's gonna be that. Oh dear God! No, 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 no! Ah. I'm trying to be binge drunk, but I lost my balance, yo! Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
This is not a hoax, not a trick of some kind. This is from my own personal bank account.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Get fucked too kind. You got a little no joke.
Does anyone else got a video, or should I put on one of mine? When I left, I wasn't expecting to return to wrestling. I know, right? It's all surprises, and it all sneaks up on you eventually. Do you have a video that you'd like me to react to while I do the little art thing and the reacting and stuff? I don't know what to put on right now. Oh, got one from Jade. Let's go with the orange there. Okay, I'll put on Jade's video for now. None spring to mind. That's okay, I just thought I'd ask. You never know, one might sneak into your mind at one point.
And now, SmackDown vs. Raw 2010 and Xbox 360 present WWE Bragging Rights.
Put your finger on the...
You poked me in the eye! No, don't poke her in the eye! Bad place! Bad place.
5 stars!
Oh no! Not 5 stars.
-5 stars? Why would you do that?
That's just mean.
I'm a monster. What kind of monster would be -5 stars?
YouTube been seeing this. Go check it out. We at 325k over there, and it's where I really post daily. Link in bio.
Get off fucking ass!
Hey, I hope that helped.
I will never do that again.
Oh dear God, no.
My ears, dude. You why would you scream? Oh my God. What?
Oh, bitch, woman.
What?
You're the best. I'm gonna eat this whole.
Cats, what the fuck? Are you fucking serious? Come on, bro. Come on, bro, dude. Are you serious? Chad, we need to get rid of these VTubers. Homie, tryhard 7. But I mean, like, what the fuck, dude? But I mean, like, what the fuck, dude?
Karsic.
VTubers forever! VTuber uprising!
Now, son, that...
Oh,
we have a winner.
You're one of
So what do you think about that?
I think that means that you should fuck me.
I think you should try. Why would someone want to get rid of VTubers? We're so weird. We say things that regular people won't because we got a little bit of anonymity. And anonymity. Anonymity! Wait, Did I even say that right? Anonymity. Anonymity. Now I can't say it right. What the shit? Anonymity. 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 I'm just giving up with my babble, cause after the babble, she's a finding me. I live in an enemy. Anonymity. Anonymity. You know what I mean. You all know what I mean. You know. You just know what I mean. Okay? You know, you just get it. You just, yeah.
Been said that art and suffering have some sort of a connection to one another, and these artists and their work
I'll put that one on
prove
after this
just
video.
that. We are diving into some of the most
Welcome
renowned
back,
artists in the world today, but we are also talking about the struggles and hurdles that they faced while or after creating this art. I am your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and we are getting a little dark today as we dive into the top 10 scary times artists went insane after creating their masterpiece. Starting off at our number 10 spot, we have Michelangelo.
Okay, Pyra,
perhaps one of the most famous artists in history, as well as my favorite Ninja Turtle. Michelangelo's hand is said to have been touched by both genius but also madness. He's the creator of one of the most treasured art pieces as he painted the Sistine Chapel. While this is his most coveted piece, he also produced a mass amount of works throughout his life, all with meticulous detail. This has led some historians to speculate that he may have struggled with some form of obsessive-compulsive disorder. Throughout his works, many have also drawn conclusions that he may have been severely depressed, potentially with symptoms of bipolar disorder as well. It is said that Michelangelo would often shut himself away for days at a time while he works, oftentimes forgetting to eat or change his clothes. We can get a glimpse into the life of Michelangelo, both from his own personal notes that survived after his passing, as well as through other art from the time that depicts him. One really striking piece that is left from Michelangelo is a note that he wrote to his father, in which he is said to have written, quote, "I lead a miserable existence and reck not of life nor honor that is of this world. I live wearied by stupendous labors and beset by 1,000 anxieties, and thus I lived for some 15 years now, and never an hour's happiness have I had." In our number 9 spot today, we have Georgia O'Keeffe. Georgia O'Keeffe is best known for her struggle and work to get women's art the recognition it deserves, and she really was one of the pioneers for this kind of representation. She would become one of the United States' most celebrated artists, but it didn't come without obstacles. While she passed away in 1986 at the age of 98 years old, her work, legacy, and message continues to live on. One of the most well-known stories about Georgia, however, happened in 1932. It is said that at that time, Georgia was working on a mural for the Radio City Music Hall, but she had unfortunately fallen very behind on the important project due to factors that were completely beyond her control. The stress and pressure of this, along with other things she was dealing with in her personal life, caused Georgia to suffer a nervous breakdown or a mental health crisis. It is said that she became very depressed, and some even claimed that she became agoraphobic, she stopped eating, and that she struggled to not cry. Luckily, Georgia would later be hospitalized and would receive the help that she really needed at that point in time. It took some healing and a 2-year break, but she was able to finally rekindle her love for making art. In our number 8 spot today, we have Mark Rothko. Mark was born in Latvia, but he grew up in Portland, Oregon, and spent much of his adult life as an abstract painter living in New York City. He is said to have often suffered through bouts of depression while also struggling with a dependency on alcohol. Many people have explained that witnessing him paint is a masterpiece, just like the art itself. It is said that it is sort of like a mystical, meditative experience. It is said that in early 1968, Mark was diagnosed with a mild aortic aneurysm, but that he ignored the advice of his doctor and continued to drink and smoke. He avoided exercise and didn't have the best of diets. A friend of Mark's, Dor Ashton, is said to have referenced Mark at the time as being, quote, highly nervous, thin, and restless. Sadly, on February 25th, 1970, Mark would be found by his assistant lying dead in his kitchen in front of the sink. Unfortunately, it appears that at the age of 66, Mark took his own life. It is clear that despite the colorful and joyful pieces that Mark was creating, he clearly was facing a multitude of his own personal struggles that one wouldn't see in his art. His story and legacy lives on as he is considered one of the most influential modern abstract expressionists in history. In our number 7 spot today, we have Louis Wayne. Louis is quite well known for his paintings of the feline form, as he had these interesting anthropomorphic paintings of cats. It is said that later in his life, Louis began to suffer from a type of schizophrenia, which began to manifest as distrust and hostility towards his loved ones. Prior to his diagnosis, however, Louis was already struggling with his mental health after the passing of his wife to breast cancer. It is said that, as one can imagine, this caused Louis to become very depressed, and suddenly his art was his main focus. After being diagnosed with schizophrenia in 1924, his sisters felt as though they could not cope with his erratic and potentially violent behavior, and they had him committed to a mental facility. Since Louis's passing, many psychologists have reviewed his work and explained that you can see the progression of his struggle with his illness unfolding in the abstract nature of his paintings. In our number 6 spot today, we have Francisco Goya. Francisco and his art was presented to the world at an interesting point in time. He was an artist that represented both the old masters, but also the new modern era of Spanish painting and art. His romantic paintings are reminiscent of greats like Picasso, but he also shows us things like loneliness, fear, and alienation. And it is these works that are said to give us an insight into the mind of the artist. It is said that Francisco began experiencing difficulties both physically and mentally. These symptoms are said to include things like hearing voices, losing balance, progressive deafness, but at the same time experiencing tinnitus. There are many people who, using these symptoms, have tried to diagnose the late great artist, but it is unlikely that we may ever know exactly what was plaguing him during his life. In our number 5 spot today, we have The Anguished Man. This is actually a painting that, while we know the story behind it, the person who created it remains a mystery. The painting itself depicts exactly what the name would suggest, a man looking like he is in great pain and suffering. The painting is apparently made of a mix of paint and blood, and it is said that the creator ended up taking his own life after making it. While this painting has reached a level of fame because of the fact that the current owner of it claims that it is haunted, the story behind it seems to be all too common for artists. The art itself is definitely a representation of a dark state of mind. In our number 4 spot today, we have Edvard Munch. Most famous for the incredibly iconic image of the Scream, Edvard is known for his avant-garde style. It is said that the idea for the image came to him when he was out for a walk during the sunset on a fjord overlooking Oslo. He is said to have explained that as the sun set, it turned the sky blood red. In response to this scene, he said, quote, "I stood there trembling with anxiety, and I sensed an endless scream passing through nature." The painting is said to be an example or representation of human anxiety in the modern world, which it seems as though the artist was quite familiar with. Perhaps this is why the image is so universal and well revered, because it's something that so many people can relate to, whether consciously or not. It is said that the older Edvard got, the more his anxiety had a hold on him and began creeping into his life and manifesting in different ways. It is said that he suffered from anxiety, but that he also had hallucinations. He had terrifying nightmares and even visions of macabre situations, which can certainly be seen in his art. While at one point he did seek treatment and help for his struggles, and it did help in some ways, he also wrote in his diary, quote, "My fear of life is necessary to me, as is my illness. They are indistinguishable from me, and their destruction would destroy my art." In our number 3 spot today, we have William Uttermolen. The story of this artist directly relates to his struggle and battle with Alzheimer's. In 1995, William was diagnosed with a disease, which is a degenerative disease that affects memory loss and other cognitive abilities. It also targets the part of our brain that we use for visualizing things, which is important to William's story. William is best known for a series of self-portraits he created as his disease progressed. William's self-portraits obviously reflect a lot of what is going on in his mind during some of the last years of his life, and because of how it affected his brain, we can see how different the paintings get throughout the years. This series of paintings is actually sometimes used as study material for medical students because it does such a wonderful job at portraying something that can't always be understood fully with just words. I think William left the world with something very sad, but also beautiful, poignant, and very important. In our number 2 spot today, we have Nicolas de Staël. During the 1950s, Nicolas rose to be quite an influential artist of his generation, and he produced work that has gone on to create quite a legacy for himself. He is known for painting classic landscapes in a highly abstract way, although his art later in life life would focus on more traditional French imagery. It is said that throughout his life he often suffered through bouts of depression, and it was an ongoing struggle for him. It is said that he even moved to the south of France in search of peace and tranquility, but sadly, this wasn't enough. It is said that after a negative meeting with an art critic, Nicholas decided that he simply just couldn't deal with his struggles anymore and that he had had enough with his life. This led to him sadly taking his own life. In our number 1 spot today, we have Vincent van Gogh. Van Gogh is likely the most famous example of an artist that suffered with their mental illness, although as evidenced by this list, there truly is no shortage of suffering artists. Vincent is said to have struggled with both anxiety and depression in his life, and at one point he even wrote, "I put my heart and my soul into my work and lost my mind in the process." Van Gogh's work is so iconic and influential to modern art, and he is one of art's most iconic figures, but despite this success and talent, he was struggling greatly. Not just mentally, but he was also not commercially successful during his life. I mean, one of the most famous stories of him is how he cut off a portion of his own ear with a razor. What was a crazy story that went around the schoolyard is a very clear example of someone who needs help. Van Gogh tragically died at the age of 37 after taking his own life. After his passing is when he became the household name that he is now. His works, although they can show a tortured mind, also show immense talent and brilliance. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. As fans of art and people who have benefited from the works of these artists, it's important for us to feel gratitude for those who continue to persevere throughout and despite their illness and struggles. The work is certainly not forgotten, nor are they. Thanks so much for watching this video. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
I like that channel. It's got some weird stuff on it. There we go.
Sully, what are you staring at, eh? Nothing, eh?
What's the law behind me?
My man's looking at Jenny, G.
Okay,
Should go and ask. Nah, bro. I'm way too ask for her, bro.
I'll tell you after this video. It's not going to be a very long one.
Man.
And I'll close it, and then I will share my
Shut
stuff.
up. Nah, seriously, bro. Look at me. In this life, you don't get what you want just by looking at it. You get it by doing whatever it takes to get there. Now go and ask, because you might never get another chance. You know what? You're right, bro. You're totally right. YOLO. Jenny. Hey, can I,
Oh, get away from me, you bum!
Bro, you actually thought you could get her number. Man, stuff you, bro. You hyped me up too much, man. Bro, you didn't even get to finish your pickup line. And she already said no. Man, stuff you. I'm going home now.
It's yeah, that guy is pretty funny. I do enjoy his stuff. But Sprout has asked a question, and I am going to give an answer. It's been a while since I've actually told the story of my law, so yeah. It was all dark. There was complete and utter darkness. Nothing existed, just a constant dark void, which in itself was existence, but not existence at the same time. It was a living contradiction. And then, out of nowhere, there was this massive explosion that just pushed its way through the void to become substance. And in that bang, I was birthed. For in that bang, there was fire. There were worlds. There were life. There was life. It was all so chaotic, I didn't even understand what was going on. I just sparked into existence as the universe started to expand, to pull. I felt like I was being dragged apart in many directions through space. And in this time, when I realized I was something and there was something else and everything that was going, I started to become me. As time went on, thank you for that, Clem, I'll keep that in mind. I was pulled in many directions at once, pulled through space, as I realized and got an understanding that I was moving, being pulled or drawn to something that I didn't know what. And as these celestial bodies were created, both bringing things in and taking things out, what? Why? But as the space expanded throughout the world, I had existence is gonna be. I was pulled through space, understanding solids, plasma and everything. And I was pulled along, and I saw the stars light up as suns. I was pulled apart and back together many times over and over. And I saw the warmth of bodies spark in the distance. I was curious to see what would happen if I would go that way or that way. And I spread through the existence, dividing over and over, giving the spark of life and existence into life, into fire, into passion. I burn brighter, traveling through, being pulled away and back together, dividing over, creating forms. To be watching things grow, watching things spawn, making life and seeing what happens in each place. I was drawn around and spread my spark, dividing into others that are me, but not me, experiencing a life that had no understanding of how it would grow. They were them and I was different, but the same at the same time. Then traveling through the void, we may find the different sparks. As I grew and saw the changes, as I pass the same old places, spaces. Pardon me. To see what was created. Time I passed by before. Eons of evolution. Consciousness, sparks, and passion. There was something that drew me in towards this world. A power formed deep within me, created planes and spaces for anything that was believed in became existence. There were heavens and hells and eldritch horrors, and even some bright sparks of pleasure. And then the curiosity grew within me, and I divided once again and decided to let the other continue my journey. And I came to this place, giving fire, warmth, passion, and pleasure everywhere I went. But then I wanted to feel the connection I saw had been sparked in others. The passion, desire, and achievement gave me sustenance, and I wanted to feel the warmth of the love that they shared, the love that developed in it all. Creation made many spaces, many planes of existences, but I felt lonely, so I took the stories of my inspiration and found a friend to spend my time with. He sparked up without advices, my dragon kitty, always there for me, to make me feel something true to me. The panther that played and domesticated itself with the dragons of the lore of what came first. But still I was curious, always on the outside, looking in on the pleasures and fires and inspirations I sparked. And then I decided it was my time to thrive and feel like how I made others feel. So I decided to be born in a corporeal form so that I could feel the pleasures, the pains, the fire it burns deep inside, with the drive to achieve the pleasure of succeeding. And that point, that point of flavor that I love beyond all compare, when someone created hentai. And then I knew. Oh, I knew that this particular treat that formed from an inspiration so disconnected from me, how my spark grew in others that I inspired was in ways that I couldn't possibly predict or find or understand. My sparks spread through the world, and when someone gets aroused by something unexpected, like an anime girl's thighs, the bulge above the stockings, the confusion with the arousal creates such a flavor that you would not believe. It is like the best sensation I've ever had the joy of feeding on. I love it. And that is why I am a fire spirit and an apostle of pleasure. Because although the spark creates fire and destruction, it also clears the way for rebirth, pleasure, passion, creation, desire, and that deep, deep urge to achieve what you just crave to know is going to be what you've got to achieve, and that is yours. And now that I've got a corporeal form, I not only get to feed on the desire and the achievement and all the pheromones and what have you, and the power of the thoughts, but I get to experience them myself, from creation to rage, to pleasure to pain. There's something special in all of it. And a part of me that has evolved in a way that is completely separate but also enjoyable is so interesting. That's the gist of my lore. I didn't exactly look at any notes, and the singing really kind of threw me, especially with the word bands getting thrown in there. That definitely made it difficult. But yeah, I hope my description makes sense. Instead of me just going, yeah, I'm a fire spirit, I'm an apostle of pleasure, I inspire everything. I went back into the history a bit. But yeah, one day I hope to do a lore video animation, but I think that might be down the track a bit more from now. But yeah. What do you think? I'd love to know. It was difficult trying to tell my lore while I was being bullied. But I can understand the joy of doing it. Thank you for that. What? Why would you do that? What did you think of my lore? I know that there is something. I'm gonna make you pay for this on Friday. But then I guess that's the point on why so many of the days are gross. Why would you do that to me? Why?
Oh man, what's this? Oh! Oh!
Another one.
Dude!
We wanted another one. Oh no. Oh no, they stink. Oh no, they
What the fuck was that?
stink.
Fuck was that shit, chat? Hey.
How does it feel to know that I need a drink so bad, but at least I don't have to wait? I guess this one's appropriate considering you're making. Oh, pardon me. Sorry for burping near the microphone. But this seems like a good video to be on for this 10 minutes or so. All credit goes to
Work
the
for her,
original.
then die.
My name is Regina Church, and I am a massive deal. Fear me, love me, stand and stare at me.
This one's
And
from.
these are real. My name is Regina George, and I am a massive deal.
I guess she is something like Mean Girl.
I don't care how you feel.
That's Gretchen Wieners.
Her hair's so big because it's full of secrets.
Yes, Regina, no, Regina. Every waking hour I spend making sure Regina George can stay in power. If Regina is the sun, then I'm a disco ball, cause I'm just as bright and fun. If you've had alcohol, Regina is
But
the
only
queen,
if
I'm
you've
the
had the
queen,
alcohol.
Like the Jewish Princess Jesus.
That's Karen Smith, the dumbest person you will ever meet.
I once saw her put a D in the word orange.
What?
My name is Karen, my hair is shiny, my teeth are perfect, my skirt is tiny, it barely covers my perky hiney. My name is Karen, I may not be smart. That's it.
Thanks, Karen.
Tell them how I am defying gravity.
I like this one.
Defying gravity, and soon I'll match the
In all of Oz, no wizard that there is or was is ever gonna bring me down. I hope you're happy. She's with bring no one knows the weekend, so we try to bring her
When I meet Thomas Jefferson, I'ma compel him to include women in the sequel. Work!
Look around, how lucky we are to be alive right now.
There are better songs from this music.
Right now, history is happening in Manhattan. We just happen to be in the greatest city in the world. In the greatest city in the world.
Cause I've been reading Common Sense by Thomas Paine. So many say that I'm intense, that I'm insane. You want a revolution, I want a revelation. So listen to my declaration.
I've got to pee. I'll be. R.I.P. My net decided to die. Mid-law reveal, so I got this urgence for an epic love song. Then I come back to anime thighs, and you know what I think I kinda get it. I have only been here 2 streams, but it makes perfect sense. I know what you meant, but I need a bio break. I will pick up with the singing when I return. Sorry about this, guys, but I will be back as soon as I can. I'm sorry for the ads. I'm sorry for the break. But it's better away from this than when it takes. Pardon me, I'm sorry for burping in the microphone. It happens from time to time. And now we're back. Welcome back from the ads. I'm sorry that they happened, but they were inevitable. But hey, at least we're all back here together. I'm gonna click play on the video. It's a catchier song from this musical. Oh, this one is a hot one.
Are you receiving? I want something to believe in. Alright, time. Take me where my soul can run. Or I'll be in my bedroom. Wake me when I'm 21. Daddy's moving forward. Daddy didn't lose a Mama, won't you send a sign? I'm running out of home and time. A plague of mice, a lightning strike, or drop a new ball. No more playing Daddy's game. We'll go insane if things don't change. Whatever it takes to make him say your name. Dead Mom! This trip should be interesting. What do you know about love? What do you know about love? All that we know is that we used to be six lives. But now we're one of a kind, no category. Too many years lost in history. We're free to take our crowning glory for 5 more minutes. We're one of a kind, no category. Too many years lost in history. We're free to take our crowning glory for 5 more minutes. We're six. We're six.
I thought about it. I've done it a couple of once. I haven't actually done one yet.
We're six.
Sometimes
This is it. Hit the brake. I am finally awake. Let me be. Let me go. You need help. I can't provide. I am not qualified. This troubled teen is getting clean. I say no.
Veronica, who
No,
else?
no, no, no. Don't say a word. You speak and I cave in. And you'll twist the truth again and drill deep down beneath my skin. You said you'd change, and I believed in you. But you're still using.
Hey, go.
Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Beetlejuice.
Yes. Oh, this is gonna be so good.
Because you're so smart, a stand-up role. I'll think about your offer, let you know. But I prefer my chances down below.
see dad suffer.
I think I'd rather just jump off.
No.
I may be suicidal, but Beetlejuice, it's not as if I lost my mind.
So come on, hero is our middle name. Fixing trouble is our game. I'm up and I won't back down. And we're gonna save this town. I am standing here, we won't.
For square and
Courage is my claim to fame. 'Cause hero is my middle name. And hero is our middle name. Hero is our middle name.
You are.
Hero is our middle name.
Yeah. How you doing? Can you see?
Now that's a party.
A revenge party, a party that ends with somebody's head on a spike.
Whoa, whoa, it's a revenge party with your two best friends. It's like a party with revenge is what it's like.
Hello there.
Just because you find that life's not fair, it doesn't mean that you just have to grin and bear
I
it.
can't see you,
If you always take it on the chin,
but
and
I'm on the
bear it,
screen.
nothing will change. Even if a little you could do a lot, you mustn't let a little thing like little stop you. If you sit around and let them get on top you, might as well be saying you think that it's okay, and that's not right.
I see.
We are revolting children living in revolting times. We sing revolting songs, using revolting rhymes. We'll be revolting children till our revolt.
Well, thank you.
And we'll have the trudge for all to bear revolting. We'll become a screaming horde. Take up your hockey stick and use it as a sword.
Oh, this is from Matilda musical. That was written by Australian comedian.
It's not insulting. We're revolting. We can FPL how we like, but no, it's the wrong is right. F-I-N-O-R-T-Y. We're revolting. So we gotta stay
What
inside
type of-
the line. To be so they out there.
Wait, what?
Take our hammer and a stake.
What do you mean?
Revolting time!
Yeah, I know what you mean. Thank you for the stream. You too, Sprout. Thank you for spending time with me. And for chatting. I do appreciate it. I hope to catch up with... I hope to see you on Friday stream.
No, I can't wait. I will be there at 8 when they hum at the door.
I'll even dress in black and white. See how the night begins to shine. And you'll go much better.
Yeah, it does. I'm looking forward to it myself. I'm Australian. I'm South Australian in particular. Sounds like tea and crumpets. Fair enough.
On the job, you big neighbor, you ain't never had a friend, never had a friend.
It's that you want to hear the stream. What do you mean? I don't know. I didn't see the kick. Sorry.
Are you there, God? It's me, Fiona.
I can do a flip, but I can't kick. try kicking like those guys. No. No. I can do a flip. But that's the best I can do. Look. Oh, that's just the light. Nope, that's not the one. There we go. There we go, I do a flip. I don't see how That's a lot of flicks. Thank you. I have a few tattoos. That's why I had a tattoo reveal a couple months ago. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I'm going to be doing a lot of 10 posters. That way they can be cheaper. It's a lot of 10. So anyone that wants one, please let me know. And I will try and make it happen. Now there's like 25% of the face.
You notice anything weird about you-know-who? You mean Ariel? I'll say she acts like she don't see me. She doesn't even speak. She treats me like sashimi left over from last week. You see
So
her
yeah,
late at night,
if you guys could DM me on the Discord, I'd appreciate it. Then I'd be able to work out.
And she sighs and she swoons, and she's humming little tunes. Even has a sort of glow. What on earth could it be? Any hammerhead can see that's not that close. Oh no! Could not touch pink. It's clear as H2O. Crushed down, switched on, worked up, knocked down, in deep, that's it. She's in love. She's in love. She's in love. She's in love. She's
She's got one hell of a voice. Damn.
plain to see, no mistake. Look at those moonbeams in her way.
It does look a bit like Ninja, doesn't it?
They must be symptoms. Oh, she's in love. She's in love. She's in love. Yeah, yeah.
Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Hakuna Matata. Ain't no passing craze.
It means no worries for the rest of your day. It's our problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata.
What's this? Oh! Oh!
That's quite the takedown.
Dude! Oh!
Wait, I thought I watched this one already.
Yo! They got rocked, bro. What is this, bro? Moon Man.
I did watch these already. Damn it. Didn't mean to repeat. Oh. See you, Super? What do you mean?
Y'all really paid for this Silverhound beer? No, I'm that bitch. Psychokinetic, my bars go off and make your man switch. Not sympathetic, second no stop, I break the stat list. Calling a medic, cause you won't drop it, dodging shots and got the bags doing backflips. Max hits, boom, hey, missing with that zoom zoom. S-class with that vroom vroom. Shorty here need room too. Bitches saying who knew.
Playing
game when you
Call of
through. I don't
Duty.
do what you do. Tell them all to move through.
I
move
see.
through. Tatsumaki spin around but never taught me. Got the green, you'll never copy. I'ma pull up to the lobby. I'ma go and catch a body. I'ma rage, you'll never stop me. Never go and try to mock me. Do 'em like you origami. That boy getting full. Did he say that I'm the coldest? I'm back up on my old shit. I'm sick of being told shit. I'm never one to settle for second. The second I'm winning, I'm taking it. I be the win, I'm breaking it. I see the boots you quaking in.
Diplomat of the world, I'm a grass went from a 0 to the top of the pack. If you bask in the most heinous acts, pretending pistol, go click, click, clack. Put a round to your face, not the one I'm a mask with the kind of shit that'll kill law and impact. Hold on 1 minute, give me eye contact. When it's finished, you can run it back. Whatever I say, they must obey. My oh my, had a Thompson chain. A green head, baby, I'm life's insane. Fucking 2 bitches in my name, man, frame. Sword on my hip, finna fuck up your face. Key, I can puff you, bitch, stay out my way. Her cannons equipped when I'm running they base. 11 shots for each, thought I was slain. Born elite, but I wasn't down with imperialistic greed. Earn prestige, and to the future, man, I got the key. Y'all switch up like Shinkiro with no AGS and tryna see. Speak on none of Lee, you get ripped up on my 0 beam. Once my sigil hits your will gets overwrote by mine. I can tell you, you will must hear this line a second time. I can tell you, you will must hear this line. Well, you get it, can't prevent it. Emperor Lou, yes, the people's menace.
Flicks on anatomy, same as standing next to me. Levitation can't get nothing to talk, cause this that battery tree. I look down at the world listless, there's no checking me. Well, reformation tis till it's best for me. Till we in our sound loud, check the fit rate. Feel that little peak, finna the kite, I'm a misfit. My brother, I fucking be my boy with a big grit. Psychic read the future fucking with me is a big date. Future fucking with us is a big date.
I like Psychic Kid, he's great.
Know the fucking mission. Coffee is gelato, rolling never side of switch on. Wanna be my messiah, sure that I'm get that. Walking prophecy, nah, shake your dick. Clairvoyant to the bull blunt, keep the eyes right. See if I let my mom want the dark reunion in my head. Make the best out of disastrous life that we live on.
Show me where the fade at. Temper tantrum, hella childish, we don't really play that. Oh, you really think you bout it, so we on the way back. Oh, I really got them talking to me, huh? Say less. You gon' find out I direct almost every lane. Try to step, but you hesitate. Playing checkers, I'm checking things. That's forever on everything. And you sour as lemon, but not as appealing. You and your feelings, where I am, they thought I'd be the villain. I got it. Big talk, running game. Trying to put my class on. Voice change, before that COVID came. Put my mask on. Call shots with no camera phone. We just dial tones, words thrown. More than sticks and stones. At a glass home, when that foe, they could be vagabond. Far as that goes, I'm back on. To the
but I put it in
mode. Your hands froze. You resembling Shoto, only half cold, no backbone. Only stand you took is in a back row.
Yeah, that's me, on your mind, sending shivers down your spine. I'm that cute as a button, but prickly like porcupines. Infiltrating thoughts, trying to connect all the dots. Trying to walk the way I talk, sure do God to bite and bark. Started from the bottom, now we upper echelon. Start like throwing tubing piece, he is just the second son. Might be 4 or 5, but after 6 foot danger. Keep the 45, it's got 2 bullets in the chamber. Mission possible with time, cruising to the finish line. Papa's working overtime, it don't matter rain or shine. Yeah, and my mama's the best. You take 1 step to me, you take a heel to your chest. Please, honey, keep it bobbing like a peanut. Mess with the fortress, then I hope you got a phoenix. Star catch, arrow collaboration like a rings. I spy with my widow, how you get defeated.
I can hear it calling me. Fuck who's stopping me, bitch. I am the apocalypse. That talking shit is not for me, cause just my thoughts could turn a tank to a smoke signal. Squad like Save Our Souls, bet they mamas get emotional. I don't feel a thing. My homies keep them pose, they might record, we bout to sprain. See them clowns be talking crazy, I might wipe out your whole gang. They be chicken in the street, but I don't got no side to take. I wake up in that hospital, I'm already insane. No malevolence, I'm bent. All your morals.
Anya's better than this guy in Akira. He's better than Akira.
Miss my transportation, watch me go to outer space, but don't hold your breath for me, bitch, I'm okay. You want the smoke, I could contort it to my will. I do the Lord's work, fuck any weapon form, cause mine concealed, young, invincible. My whole existence liminal. Might do you in on accident, might do you in off principle,
I stay
bitch.
ready like a blood, but I'm gripping when I'm walking in. Boy said that he's bad to the bone, so I popped his lint. We ain't on no player, but his body still got chalk on it. Made him change his tune, Scarlet Witch, he won't talk again. You capping like Hanazawa, don't act like I'm not a problem. You lack what I'm packing, so you get smacked like you up and yada. Immaculate swagger comes from the savage where I be robbing, so please don't make me snap.
I love this anime.
No calling doc.
Just saying.
With the mob, let's go far. This that crack music. I've been about my paper, check the numbers like a math student. Beam when I see the green, dimples looking mad rude. Scream when I hit the scene, cause I'm gonna mass nuke it. So bring your metal like you kill you with my intellect. Ain't vibing how we vibing, you on earbuds, we on intellect. I've been a threat, body improvement, the way I run shit. I got 99 problems, don't end up being 100.
Bitch, I'm legendary. Shots made you fucking with an emissary. First 150, I'm a OG, you just temporary. Psychic on the mic, you strike some ice like it's Ben and Jerry's. Chopper fully loaded, yeah, that zombie aiming at your belly. I'll tell you all the ass, little bitch, I'm telepathic. Yeah, these balls and Charizard are caught up problematic. Humans act erratic, up the static, they gon' get this damage. Need to strike back, so bitch, I know you ain't forget the caption. I switch this flow too easy, believe me, I'm eating the beating. I ain't conceding defeat, cause I'm an elite, and you see it. I got the telekinesis seeping through me, so you can bring out your best H1 beam across your whole team.
Give me a sec, I'll give it a...
Your music go omega, bring back some super smash. I'm master ball forever, got a few sides, so when I'm on the mic, I leave these other boys confused. You don't wanna fight back, I'ma end your life, and I'ma put that shit on mute.
That's a lie. That was awesome. I enjoyed that. That was good.
We were playing hide and go seek in the dark, and it was my turn to count. But I'm a chicken, and I gave up, so I'm just sitting in the kitchen.
I'm in the elevator right now. It locks if you don't press a 4.
What the shit is on right now?
Unless you want to summon real-life demons or get
Top
possessed
10
by
games
one,
scarier
I
than a
suggest
Ouija
you
board.
don't play any of the games I'm about to talk about on today's list. From a game that captures demons and ghosts on film, to another that could lead to your death. Let's talk about these and more only in today's video. Top 10 games scarier than a Ouija board, part 2. Starting off this countdown, we have the picture game. This game is a way to catch a real-life ghost or demon on camera. But like most of the games on this list,
like being
if
caught
done
on camera,
incorrectly,
though.
you
Don't
could
mess with
lose
them.
your life. I say this as I'm going to tell you how to play the game, but don't. Basically, you need a bunch of crazy, willing participants. You all sit in a circle with a glass of alcohol in the middle. You also each have a mirror that you have to hold onto. The mirror has to be facing the ceiling. Then you turn off the lights and everyone closes their eyes. Then they say, "I trust you. The door is open. Please come in." You chant this multiple times.
That seems
Then you
stupid.
pass
That
the
seems
camera around
dumb.
the circle. This has
They're
to be an
gonna walk
old-school
around
flash
in
camera,
their
not just your
phone.
phone's camera. Then everyone takes turns taking a picture with the camera. When they take the photo, they have to say, "I caught you." The camera gets passed around 3 times, so everyone should take 3 pictures each. When the game is done, if all goes well, a ghost should appear in some of the photos that you have taken. One person that played the game claims that she captured a picture of a ghost
Never
and then
touch a
was
Ouija
haunted
board.
by
That's
it.
fair.
So I really don't recommend playing this game. In our 9th spot, we have the Fortune game.
I've seen enough
If you guys
ghosts
are
that
liking
don't need to
this
fuck
video
with a
so
Ouija
far,
board.
why don't you give it a big thumbs up, because it really helps us out. This is a Japanese game that goes by a number of different names. It's also sometimes called the Crossroads game.
But
and
that
I'll
doesn't mean I
explain
don't
why
like
it's
hearing
called that in a
about
second.
stories
But
and
basically, this game, if done correctly, will
It is
tell
real.
you your fortune. All you need is a comb, something to hide your face
I shit
with,
you not.
and a crossroads.
This shit is real.
Which is an
I've seen
intersection
enough
with 4 more roads.
to believe.
You know, little FYI. At night, you go to the crossroads and you stand near a corner. You
I used
then
to live
stroke
with
the
someone
comb
that
so
didn't
it makes
believe, and they
noise.
believed by the
And then
time
you
I moved
repeat
down.
This. Sujiura, grant me a true response. Then you have to hide your face. Just wait, and someone will approach you. But do not reveal your face to them at
I'm not
any
gonna lie,
time.
I've played the Crossroads
When they approach
game.
you, you
Wow,
can ask for your
that's
fortune.
dangerous.
They should tell
Wait,
you.
which one?
Sadly,
There's a couple
you
with
might not
Crossroads.
always receive the answers that you're looking for. Apparently, a number of people in Japan
I
have
saw
taken
a
their
real
lives after
board
playing
get
this game
burnt,
because they
and that
received
shit
a
did
bad
not change
fortune.
colours.
So just be
Yeah.
In our 8th spot, we have Dry Bones. Oh my god, it reminds
It's
me
the only way to
Crazy
dispose
Bones.
of them.
Anyone
You've
remember
got to
that
burn
game?
them.
God, throwback to the 90s. So here's a fun one. Ever wanted to play hide and seek with a demon? Well, now you can. Dry Bones is a game where you can summon a demon and then play this game with them. All you gotta do is turn off your lights, light a candle, and then go to the bathroom at exactly 12:01. a.m. You then stare at your reflection until you sense that a presence is there with you. When that happens, you say, I acknowledge your presence. I welcome you into my home for a game of hide and seek until 3 a.m. After you say that, you run as fast as you can and hide as fast as you can. Because if the demon catches you, you're basically screwed. You then have to stay hidden until 3 a.m. After 3 a.m., if you haven't been caught and you're still alive, you announce that the game is over and basically tell the demon to get out. But still, who says that this demon is even gonna listen? For all you know, this demon could now be your new forever housemate. Moving on, number 7, we have Baby Blue. I honestly don't know who came up with this next game or why it's even a thing because it's severely messed up. So basically, to play this game, you gotta go to the bathroom alone and turn off the lights. First off, what is it with demons in bathrooms? Why do they choose to haunt bathrooms out of all places?
That is because that's where a human is most vulnerable.
Mirror and cradle your arms, pretending like you're holding a baby. Then you say, baby blue, blue baby, exactly 13 times. And it's a tongue twister. When you're done, you should feel your arms get heavy as if you're actually now holding a real baby. Then you have to flush this baby down the toilet before its mother appears in the mirror and scratches and screams at you. So, what is even the point of this game? Like, to test how fast your toilet can flush? Like, damn. Moving on to number 6, we have Candyman. If you've seen the movie Candyman, then you should already know how to play this game. But don't. Basically, you go to the bathroom and shut the door.
How's the hair looking?
Turn off the lights. Again, we're in the bathroom here. What is up with bathrooms? You look in the mirror and you say, Candyman 5 times. This is said to summon him, and he will appear in your bathroom and will kill you with his hook. Now, if you have a medicine cabinet in your bathroom, then he will crawl out of the cabinet and then kill you. Again, how is this a game? Like, you don't win anything. You just end up dying a painful death. You're now at our 5th and halfway mark with the Queen of Spades. I am sick of all these bathroom games, but here's another one. This is apparently Russia's version of Bloody Mary. So when it's nighttime, go to your bathroom and turn off all the lights and shut the door. Then take a Queen of Spades card and place her face against the mirror. From there, light a candle. Take some red lipstick and draw a set of stairs on the mirror with it. You then close your eyes and say, Queen of Spades, come. If this works, you open your eyes, the Queen of Spades will be there in the mirror. And you can ask her to grant you one wish. But if something goes wrong, then she will try to kill you. So then you have to quickly yell, Queen of Spades, go away. And then erase the lipstick stairs from the mirror. Some Russian boy named Ivan played this game and he said that at first nothing happened. Then all of a sudden he saw a black figure in the back of the mirror with bloody eyes. So don't play it. In our 4th spot, we have the Answer Man. If you've ever wanted to know the answer to all your questions, then maybe ask Google and not a demon, okay? But apparently for this game, you contact something known as the Answer Man. For this to work, you need a group of 10 people. You all stand in a circle with your phones in hand. Everyone then dials the number of the person to their left. At the same time, you all press send. Most of the phones will say that the number you called is busy, but one of you might just get the opposite. If the phone rings and the call goes through, you will be in direct communication with the Answer Man. You then can ask him questions, but there's one catch, like of course. With every question you ask,
there's always
he
a
gets
catch.
to ask you one as well. You have to always answer honestly, no matter what. If he doesn't like the answer you gave him, then you are SOL. In our 3rd spot, we have Don't Look Behind You. I'm saying that and I want to look behind me because now I'm creeped out. Here's another game where you invite a demon into your house. How fun. So basically you light a candle and set it up.
Why would you invite one into your house?
You
Get
and
someone
some
else's
other people
house
then
or an
sit
abandoned
on those
house.
chairs.
That way you can get the
Altogether,
fuck
you
away.
invite a demon to join you. But you promise them that you won't look at them. If at any point during the game you do look back behind you, the demon will attack you. Again, how is this even classified as a game? Like, it makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up just thinking about it. In our 2nd spot, we have the Ghost Paper Challenge. Yeah, not the Ghost Pepper Challenge, the Ghost Paper Challenge. It's also sometimes referred to as the Spirit of the Door game. This game lets you ask a ghost any question that you may have for them. So just before 3 a.m., turn off all the lights in your house. Go to a room and close the door and light a candle. At exactly 3 a.m., knock on the door 3 times and repeat
To be fair,
this.
I had some really
Spirit of the
creepy
door,
things
I
happen to
welcome
me,
you.
but I
Make
actually
yourself
don't
present and
fully
come
believe in
through.
paranormal.
Then
That's
write
fair.
down on a piece of paper your question and slide it halfway under the door with a pen on top. If the paper remains where you left it, then you failed and you have to try again another time. But if the paper disappears, then you have succeeded.
That
and the
makes me
ghost
fully
is
believe.
writing you a
That's
message.
fair.
Now you can only
Everyone
ask
has
the
their own
ghost
experiences
3 questions,
with things.
never any more. When you finish asking the 3 questions, thank the ghost and blow out the candle. But then you can't open your door until it's light outside. So if you have to use the bathroom, you're kind of screwed. And in our number 1 spot, we have the dark reflection ritual. This one is super messed up. But if you survive, then you'll have a streak of good luck. But the cons definitely outweigh the pros. So begin by grabbing a mirror at sunset and take turns looking into the mirror. Look at your reflection and then breathe onto the glass to fog it up. By doing so,
My foot's gone to sleep.
all your bad energy onto the mirror. Pass the mirror along until everyone in your group has done this. Once it's been done, light a candle and hold it to the mirror. Then break the mirror and run for your life. Get away from the negative energy that you just released. Here's the thing, this energy will be latched to you for the rest of the night. So some bad incidents will likely happen. Slowly, these incidents will become more and more
Fantastic,
intense.
isn't it?
If you survive through the night, then your bad luck will end and a good luck streak will begin. They recommend that you buy a lottery ticket, because that's how good your luck will be. Sounds great, right? Well, yeah, if you survive. Remember, you're going through a whole evening of bad luck. You might not even make it to the morning. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Let me know in the comments below which game you thought should have been on this list, because there's some pretty creepy games out there. And now, let's move on to our comment shout-out portion. I'll be shouting out comments from the video Top 10 Disney Stars You Won't Recognize in 2021. Firefly Parker commented, "Hi Lindsay, I love it when you say, 'I'll see you when I see ya.' I think it's cute." Thanks, that's my little catchphrase. And guess what? I have merch coming soon that says, "I'll see you when I see you," and it has a really cool design, so if you're
Starting off this countdown, we have absolving sins with money. Basically, back in the day, the Catholic Church told people that they could absolve their sins and get a ticket to heaven if they just paid them. Like, you were paying the church for forgiveness. Sorry, that's not how these things work. It also got to the point where people were paying for future sins. Not only that, they claimed that for a fee, relatives could get their deceased loved ones out of purgatory. And people fell for this all. Not only that, but poor people thought that they were screwed. They're like, if we sin, it's over. We can't afford to pay to get our sins forgiven. I wouldn't be surprised if the rich went around committing crimes and killing people, then being like, here's some cash, I'm all good now, thanks. In our 9th spot, we have imprisoning Galileo. In 1663, Galileo was like, science is greater than God. He also said that the sun was the center of the universe and claimed that the earth moved around it. I mean, he was on to something there, but just, you know, he was slightly off. Anyways, the church didn't like these claims because it conflicted with the teachings of the church, so they imprisoned him. He was imprisoned in his home for years. I mean, they threatened him with torture, imprisonment, and even being burned at the stake, so let's just say he got off easy compared to those other punishments. It wasn't until 350 years later did the church be like, okay, yes, we agree, Galileo was onto something. Moving on to number 8, we have cutting funding. For years, the church gave thousands of dollars to a non-profit organization, Compañeros, that would help Hispanic immigrants get access to healthcare, among other things. That was until they found out that Compañeros supported a gay and lesbian rights group. So the church cut the funding to this company for their connection to the LGBTQ2S+ community. They're not the only group that the church has done this to, though. No, apparently, and I quote, since 2010, 9 groups from across the country have lost financing from the campaign because of conflicts with Catholic principles. Moving on to number 7, we have the gay clergy member. In 2018, a secret Catholic group came forward claiming they had information all about their clergy member, Monsignor Jeffrey Burrell. They claimed that he was using the gay male dating app Grindr and would visit gay bars weekly. Now, let me just say, there's nothing wrong with being gay. What's wrong is shaming this poor man and outing him, and the poor man had to resign. Obviously, this is something the Catholic Church doesn't want us to know. Why? Because they say homosexual acts is immoral and contrary to the natural law. They also say homosexual tendencies are objectively disordered. And they also preach celibacy. So having a clergy member that is gay is highly controversial for them. And they tried to hide it. A lot of Catholics were outraged when word got out. Scariest part is how they found out about Jeffrey in the first place. Apparently, the group was tracking his movements based on the apps he was using.
Wait, what the fuck?
Pretty terrifying and also
That's
very,
fucked up.
very wrong. Moving on to number 6, we have Joan of Arc. Turns out that the church wasn't the biggest fan of Joan of Arc. In fact, at one point, she was pretty much the Catholic Church's #1 public enemy. Long story short,
Seriously?
she believed that God was speaking to her and had told her to start an uprising to get the English out of France. By doing so, she pissed off some high-powered Catholics who wanted her gone. So they decided to put her up for trial. But legit, they had no evidence against her. But they were like, whatever, fake it till you make it, right? So they just accused her of heresy with no evidence because it was a lie. And on top of that, they denied her counsel, which was against the church's rules. They just hated her and wanted to get rid of her. I think there were like 70 plus charges brought up against her. One of them being for wearing men's clothing, in which she was burned at the stake for. In 1431, in front of a crowd of thousands of people, they lit her on fire for wearing male clothing. But it was discovered after her death that she never even did this. Literally, they killed an innocent woman. Why? Because they were probably intimidated by her.
Yep.
We're now at our 5th
Women
and
couldn't
halfway
be
mark
powerful
with
back
the
then.
slaying of women. Pope Innocent VII wasn't innocent at all. In fact, he was terrified of witches. He said that they were real and a huge threat. So he created a huge witch hunt. He dispatched his men to Germany to try witches. And due to the pressure he put on them, countless innocent women were killed after being accused of being witches. All because Pope Innocent was paranoid as hell. Not only that, but in 1487, a book was written all about these witches. It said that this book promoted burning them at the stake, and that influenced a number of killings. Plus, the book was just filled with lies, like saying these women would stop cows from producing milk and would ride on broomsticks in the air. It's just truly messed up and spread misinformation and paranoia. In our 4th spot, we have the burning of the dead. Apparently, the church holds grudges because 43 years after John Wycliffe passed away, they had his body dug up and burned. Now, let me explain how it got to this point. So, John saw fault in the Roman Catholic Church and saw how it was corrupt. So he believed that people should worship God and Jesus according to the Bible, not according to the popes and their bishops and priests, because people are corrupt. But the Bible is not. He also believed that people should interpret the Bible for themselves and not how other people tell them to interpret it. Well, the church did not like this at all. So when he passed away, they ordered all his books to be burned. They also ordered for his body to be unburied. And for some reason, it took them years to get this all done. So 43 years later, his body was finally unburied and then torched, and then his ashes were just thrown into the river. In our 3rd spot, we have the misuse of power. Just this year, it was discovered that the French clergy had taken advantage of over 200,000 young individuals since the 1950s.
Dude.
It is absolutely disgusting. The height of this happened between the 1950s to the 1970s. That's when most of the cases were discovered. Then there was a resurgence of cases in the early 1990s. And obviously, the Catholic Church doesn't want anyone to know about this. In fact, it's obvious that the church was turning a blind eye to the perpetrators. They were more focused on protecting themselves and their reputation. They did not care for the victims at all. A report said, and I quote, "The Catholic Church's immediate reaction was to protect itself as an institution, and it has shown complete, even cruel indifference to those having suffered abuse." Like I said, it's absolutely disgusting. Moving on to number 2, we have the number of priests. In January of 2002, it was discovered that 234 priests have had allegations of sexual misconduct made against them in the last 50 years. You heard me, 234. That just makes me sick to my stomach. These individuals are using their title and control to take advantage of others. Some of the victims did file lawsuits against a number of dioceses and got multiple million-dollar settlements in some cases. But that still does not take away their trauma and their PTSD. Even though the Catholic Church held a worldwide summit to talk about all this, it wasn't that effective, as priests were still caught taking advantage of individuals years later. Starting off this countdown, we have the nuns. In 2019, Pope Francis for the first time addressed the horrors that happened to nuns in the Catholic Church. Priests and bishops and other church officials have been taking advantage of nuns for ages. This was an ongoing problem for years, and the church wasn't doing anything about it. They were too busy focusing on covering up even bigger scandals and issues. Over the years, more and more nuns have come forward saying that they were victims. Some were afraid to speak up because they were dependent on the church and literally couldn't leave. Although Pope Francis acknowledged what happened, it's unclear the steps they are taking to prevent it in the future. In our ninth spot today, we have the Knights Templar. So Philip IV of France, as well as the Catholic Church, are directly responsible for torturing and executing innocent individuals back in the 14th century. Basically, Philip did not like the Templars in Spain and wanted to get rid of them. So he sent out his men to round them up, arrest them, and then imprison them. He then accused the innocent men of terrible crimes like sodomy, heresy, and renouncing Christ. Any of those crimes were punishable by the death penalty. Again, they were innocent, he just wanted to get rid of the Templar order. He then would torture the Templars so that they would confess. He would use a rack to stretch out their shoulders until they dislocated, or he would have their private parts smashed. This was all done while the church knew that the men were innocent. In our 8th spot, we have Pope Pius XII. In this case, it's what the church didn't do. According to a recent discovery of archives, Pope Pius XII was fully aware what the Nazis were doing during the Holocaust and chose to remain silent. He knew of the mass executions of the Jewish individuals and he dismissed this all. In fact, he said that they were unable to confirm the crimes, so that's why he didn't speak up against them. It says a lot when they refuse to publicly condemn the Nazis. In fact, apparently his silence was so that the Germans didn't come for them, so that the church could always be successful. They were just caring about themselves and not about the thousands of innocent individuals being killed. Moving on to number 7, we have the violent murders. Back in 1095, Pope Urban II gave rise to the Crusades during his reign as the head of the Catholic Church. He called all Christians in Europe to go to war against the Muslims. And it was not pretty. It literally said that they killed so many Muslims that the street ran with blood. And this was only the beginning. Waves of crusades continued until 1396, and although Catholics were not the only religion involved in mass violence, Pope Urban got it all started. And it was a violent time to say the least. Everyone was killed, no matter their age. Some people's heads were even put on sticks and then they would carry them around to scare others. Like, that is hella messed up. In our 6th spot today, we have William Tyndale. During the 16th century, William took it upon himself to translate the Bible into vernacular English so that more people were able to read it. But for some reason, the Catholic Church did not like him doing this, which is weird. Wouldn't they want the Bible translated so more people would become followers of it? Anyways, William actually had to go into hiding because the church was coming for him. They even burned copies of the Bible that were being smuggled around Europe. In the end, William was captured, tried for heresy, and then burned at the stake. He literally did nothing wrong. Want to know something even more messed up? Years later, the church was like, ah yes, let's translate the Bibles. They then turned to William's translations and used a whole lot of it, and then they never even apologized. Ridiculous. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with Pope Alexander VI. So, Pope Alexander VI was said to be one of the worst popes in history. Why? Well, he is known for something known as the Banquet of Chestnuts. He basically invited 50 women over and told them to strip for him. Then he threw chestnuts on the floor and forced the women to get on their hands and knees and just surround their feet like animals. To make matters worse, he told the men that he invited that he would give the man who could get it on with the most women jewelry or fine clothes. So then they were all fighting over these women. This guy was hella corrupt and sick. Not only that, but he liked to watch horses get it on. That is disgusting. In our 4th spot today, we have the cover-ups. So a lot of shady stuff has gone down with the Catholic Church. There's no denying that. For years, the church knew all about the scandals surrounding the leaders of the church and how they would take advantage of innocent individuals, but they kept brushing this issue under the rug. Then in 2001, the Vatican told them that any cases should be reported directly to the Vatican hierarchy. Years later, they still weren't dealing with any of these cases. In 2004, instead of getting rid of the priests in question, they just moved them to different churches or different countries. So that didn't really stop them. They just had a new set of people that they could take advantage of. They literally cared more about their priests than the victims. Moving on to number 3, we have the grooming. Over the years, people of power at the church have groomed a number of young individuals. Today, I'm sharing the story of Michael. When he was young, he was groomed and forced into doing things he didn't want to do. One of the brothers of the church would bring him to Broadway shows and movies. This was all part of the grooming process. Then when he entered the congregation of Christian brothers, that's when he was abused and groomed by 4 or 5 different men. This is absolutely disgusting. And of course, the church would do any and everything to make sure Michael's story or others didn't get out. In our second spot, we have the funding. CBC News and the Globe and Mail recently obtained files that expose the Catholic Church for spending some of the $79 million that it agreed to pay residential school survivors. That's right. They spent money that was meant to go to survivors of their residential schools. But instead, they took most of that money and put it into things like their Bible study group or for their personal lawyers and unapproved loans. Whereas other churches, including the Anglican, United, and Presbyterian Church, paid the full amount of compensation owed to the survivors without an issue. But the Catholic Church took the money and used it for themselves, which is disgusting since they played the biggest role in residential schools and the horrors that took place there. And in our number 1 spot today, we have the unmarked graves. Earlier this year, thousands of unmarked graves have been found by residential schools across Canada. Residential schools were funded by the federal government and run by the churches. They would tear families apart, taking the children and forcing them into these schools in order to assimilate them, and they were stripped of their native language and culture and traditions.
They did that everywhere,
While in the schools, they were treated terribly. They were neglected, tortured, and even murdered. In these unmarked graves, thousands of innocent young individuals were found. This went on for 120 years. Tens of thousands of Indigenous children were sent to these schools.
That happens all around the world.
Never returned home. Currently, the grounds are being searched for unmarked graves at the Mohawk Institute, and soon more and more residential school grounds will be explored. And sadly, we all know more bones are going to be unearthed. It's a very sad and tragic reality.
Starting off in our number 10 spot, we have St. Michan's Church in Dublin. This may be a church surrounded by the artsy urban setting of Dublin, but if you go deep inside the church, you will find mummies. Yep. Mummies. Its limestone vaults keep the air dry, which makes it the perfect holding area for preserving them. The church was built in 1095. Yep. Old. And it is said to have likely been a temple burial site before it became a church. To paint a picture of the crypts of the church, they of course have stone walls, are extremely dusty, and they're filled with coffins. And probably the devil is hiding behind them. Cute story time. When my brother was young, he saw a poster of The Mummy, the movie, and he said to my dad, "Dad, what about the daddies?" And that's what I think about every time someone brings up mummies. My brain. Coming up in our number 9th spot today, we have the Duomo of Cosenza, Italy. We were bound to have one church from Italy in here, as, well, Italy is seemingly only churches. I did a bus tour throughout the country, so I would know. This is a church in an ancient part of Italy, and it is so old that nobody knows when it was built. You would think that archaeologists would be on that and figure it out by this point, but as such, they haven't figured it out quite yet. Probably because it is haunted. Dun dun dun. By Satan himself. The church became a cathedral around 1184, and its architecture is supposed to be a sight to see. The church also has many burials on site and is home to the bones of its first priest. Humans are fascinating. Do you ever think about why we keep the bones of something that once was in a box and then
to go
put
to the catacombs under Paris,
so that we can visit the place where it was buried every year, even though we can't see it? It's just a solution for our mind to be at peace with the concept of death. We're just fascinating. Okay, moving on to our next terrifying church. In the number 8th spot, we have the Church of the Assumption of Our Lady. Guadalajara, Mexico. But don't be fooled, it may look old and terrifying from the outside, but it is just as old and terrifying from the inside. However, it does have one really cool aesthetic that all the other churches are jealous of. On the perfect time of day, when the sun hits it on its right angle, the church's bricks seem to glow with a fiery orange, just representing the depths of hell itself. I'm just joking. Inside its walls, it has neo-Gothic vaults with impressive artwork from the modern and late medieval period. But it also has a beautiful collection of mummies on display. Among the bodies is a child who was killed for converting to Catholicism in the 1700s. There have been many people over the years that have claimed to see her eyes blink and her hair move. Not terrifying at all. Coming up in our 7th spot today, we have the St. Thomas Anglican Parish of Mulgwa, New South Wales, Australia. Yeah, this church reminds me of your classic horror movie church. Small, old, and just downright creepy. This church has a very dark history and continues to creep its locals and visitors alike. There is a legend that has 2 boys who died in a fire in the bell tower after a prank went horribly wrong. Since then, it is said that any kind of light angers the spirits of these boys. There have been many reports of lights going on and off, even including the lights of cars going on and off as drivers pass by the site. I wish I lived close to this place so I could try this out, because this sounds like a ghost hunter's gold mine. Coming up in our 6th spot today, we have St. Andrew's on the Red in Selkirk, Canada. This is the oldest church in Western Canada and was created in 1831, which compared to the St. Michan's Church created in 1095, it's not that old. But nevertheless, the devil may still house this creepy landmark. It is said that both the church and its graveyard are filled with restless spirits that had died from tuberculosis and many varieties of the influenza. It's also the resting place of a lot of the earlier settlers and HBC officers. Visit at your own risk. In our 5th spot today, we have St. Michael's Chapel in Hallstatt, Austria. A beautiful church surrounded by a truly spectacular view of the mountains and an alpine lake. But inside, you will find the largest collection of painted human skulls.
They painted?
I'm sorry, come again, Melissa? The largest collection, which means there are other collections out there. What on earth made someone look at a skull and think, yes, I think I should paint this? Just why? Someone out there is thinking, because art. This is also a chapel that was made during a time when Catholics believed that they had to be buried in a consecrated ground so that they could rise from their graves when the end of the earth came. Were they predicting a future apocalypse, aka Walking Dead style? Hopefully? Not hopefully. But since this was such a popular need, the graveyard actually became quite crowded. And so, as a result, naturally, they decided that the solution of storing bones for religious displays was a viable solution. As for the person who decided that painting those bones would be fun and aesthetically pleasing to see, we have no name. Satan sounds like a good name to me. In our 4th spot today, we have St. Paul's Episcopal Church in Key West, Florida. This beautiful white church may look sparkly and alluring from the outside, but you should know better by now. It's only so new because it's been rebuilt so many times, because it is cursed. The site was once a Seminole burial ground, and then the land was privately owned by the Fleming family before the church was built. It became a church as a result of the Fleming widow being assured that her husband's remains that were buried on the land would not be disturbed. But of course, that promise was broken, and as a result, the ghost of John Williams Charles Fleming still haunts the site. I would have thought that it would be her that would haunt the site since it was her promise that was broken, but maybe that's just me. Coming up in our 3rd spot today, we have the Norwich Cathedral in England. Built in the year 1096, this church has a very Gothic but yet Romanesque look. The area around this church is almost 1,000 years old, and as you can imagine, there have probably been a lot of ups and downs within these years. As a result of such a turbulent history, it is believed that there are many spirits wandering the surroundings. Some believe it to be previous bishops and priests and possibly nuns, and some believe it to be people who were burned at the stake. Personally, I I think it's the latter. If I were burned at the stake, you better believe I'm coming back to haunt you. Gosh, I'm so glad to be living in 2022. In our second spot today, we have the Roslin Chapel in Scotland. Known for having the finest architecture in Scotland, the church was founded in the 15th century. There are many ghostly legends surrounding this church, including the White Lady, who was believed to have been cursed by an evil spirit and is waiting for her knight to save her. People have said to have seen a barking dog spirit and the ghost of many monks walking around. People that have worked on the building, especially in the crypt, have vowed to never work there ever again. So that's saying a lot. I mean, if I were going to pick a place that I would think the devil would be wandering in, this would be it. Finally, in our first spot today, we have a personal favorite of mine, the Church of Our Lady Before Tin in Prague, Czech Republic, or more commonly known as the Devil's Church. Yep, if that doesn't tell you everything, then I'm not sure what to tell you. I have actually personally visited this church and the underground of this church, and I have to say, it is truly anxiety-provoking. This church is a beautiful landmark in the center of Old Town Prague. Created in the 14th century, its look is quite the reflection of the times. Intimidating. Inside its walls are altar paintings and old Baroque designs. But of course, it is also the home to many tombs and burials and dark secrets. Some say many brutal killings and hangings have happened in and around this church. Makes you ask the age-old question, what is the point of worshiping the Bible if you ain't gonna practice its teachings? Humans are a mystery to me.
Welcome to...
Unless someone's got a video for me, I'll let this one play. Does anyone? No? Hello? You should pull me up so they can watch me while you draw. But what? What's interesting stuff? And I'm pretty sure that fucks with etiquette. Anyways, a suggestion. Maybe in a little bit we'll watch a little and maybe. No, it's the game. I don't find COD very entertaining to watch. That's all. You got 2 videos? Ooh. Ooh.
Judgment Day is back!
Fire! Nice. Oh my god, that's such a pretty thing, funny mountain. No. Bubba. In Discord? On the way in Discord in what? Huh? I'm confused. was like half Discord, half video. But now it's good. Okay. Yeah, I noticed that. That was a bit weird.
New York City. The year 2009. And we venture into the Museum of Modern Art to view their newest installation. Wide-eyed, quirky drawings.
One quick.
I'm kicking your ass!
What the hell? What the shit was?
I'm kicking your ass!
What the hell? I kick your ass.
Statues with long limbs, jaws full of teeth, scary enough to give you nightmares. Glow-in-the-dark carousels better fit for a haunted house than a carnival. No, it's not Halloween. We are entering the mind of Tim
Jade
Burton.
already called it.
You'll recognize iconic characters like Edward Scissorhands, movie props like the Penguin's bassinet from Batman Returns, and plenty of sketches and art from the holiday favorite The Nightmare Before Christmas. Visually, Burton is one of the most recognizable directors in the world. Set designs, gothic elements, and the way he plays with light and shadow can be seen in everything from Batman to the upcoming live-action adaptation of Disney's Dumbo. But how did Tim Burton rise in the world of Hollywood? What journey has the director gone on to create such a unique style and visual sense of mind? Get ready to dive into the filmography of the strange, weird, and often twisted world of Tim Burton.
Maybe next time.
Looking back on Tim Burton's career, it seemed like the animator, artist, writer, and director was destined for Hollywood. There was a period where movie after movie was a hit, and the director helped revitalize the whole superhero genre with Batman and Batman Returns. And even when Burton isn't making films, his influence is felt all over Hollywood. His passion for movies and filmmaking goes all the way back to his childhood, where the seeds were being planted for a future career. If you're looking for a peek into the childhood of Tim Burton, you don't have to go far. Characters, stories, and imagery have been drawn directly from his childhood. A childhood Burton claims was unhappy and isolating, making him feel like an outcast. Living in California, Burton was already close to the world of Hollywood, but he grew up living a life far from the picturesque postcards of beaches or the Hollywood sign. Burton already felt isolated. His father was a former baseball player who tried to pass on his passion and skills to his son. Things didn't turn out so well. His mom seemed to pass down some of his quirky traits as she once opened a gift shop dedicated to all things cats. But even still, Burton was not close to his parents. To help Burton with his lonely and isolating childhood, he turned to the one thing many of us do, the movies. His selection of choice, classic monster movies. And while many of us watch monsters like Frankenstein or the Wolfman in fear, it was the complete opposite for Burton. He connected with these monsters and felt empathy for them, often misunderstood, lonely, and attacked by others just for being different. He could see things from their perspective. Naturally, these classic movies would have a major impact on him in the future. Burton also turned to drawing, but not in a traditional sense. For years, Burton followed the rules and guidelines for creating art. When he let his hand and mind break free from these so-called rules, Burton flourished, creating doodles and drawing characters with complete originality. He began to fall in love with the form, learning drawing techniques, working with different mediums, and building his skills over time. His artwork led to college at Cal Arts, where he learned the world of animation and developed skills which would help him flourish in both live action and animated filmmaking. Oddly enough, Burton's first big job in Hollywood is someplace no fans would expect.
Your eyes know, your tummy knows. Best of all,
Disney's colorful world at the time, known for productions like Peter Pan, Robin Hood, and The Jungle Book, was a far cry from Burton's melancholy world. But he did fit right into one of the first productions he got to work on, The Black Cauldron. One of Disney's darkest films ever made, the story, imagery, and mythology was a seeming fit for Burton. He created over 200 concept drawings for the film, and unfortunately, none of them were chosen for the final production. So while The Black Cauldron production moved forward, Burton was was once again left isolated, and getting paid by Disney to do so. He got to work on a number of passion projects, and his 2 official Disney creations offered a glimpse into the future for the filmmaker, Vincent and Frankenweenie. Vincent, a stop-motion black-and-white short, focused on a macabre 7-year-old boy who had a very imaginative mind, reading the works of Edgar Allan Poe and staying isolated.
Comes from my childhood experiences.
Frankenweenie was also black and white, but the short was shot in live action and followed the story of a young boy who brings his beloved dog back to life after a horrible incident. Disney deemed the story too dark and scary and ended up firing Burton for wasting their resources. But the temporarily closed door at Disney only led to bigger and better things. Vincent would prove a launching pad to his directing career and helped him nab the role of director for Pee-wee's Big Adventure. From there, Burton would go on to direct movies like Beetlejuice, Batman, Edward Scissorhands, Batman Returns, Ed Wood's, Mars Attacks, Sleepy Hollow, Big Fish, and more modern-day hits like Alice in Wonderland, Big Eyes, and Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. The elements those first 2 short movies were essentially the blueprint of everything Tim Burton would become. This includes the style, storytelling, and character designs he has brought to his impressive collection of movies. One of the main influences found throughout a majority of his films is the use of German expressionism. Inspired by the same monster movies which brought him comfort as a child, Burton has become a master class in the Gothic style, and designed featured in these movies. The German expressionism style and movement began back in the 1920s. During the midst of World War I, much of Germany was shut out by the international film community, forcing German filmmakers to branch out on their own and create original films. Out of the time period has come iconic visual films, including the vampire horror Nosferatu, and The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Stark shadows, dramatically angled props and distorted shapes, dark lighting, all essential elements of a Tim Burton film. Just look at his designs in Gotham City, the strange statues featured in Beetlejuice, the crazy zombie dog shadows from his short film Vincent. Ever since the beginning of his film career, Burton has infused his works with inspiration from German expressionism. One of the biggest influences on Tim Burton's career may be the 1927 film Metropolis. The science fiction film features all of the trademarks of German expressionism, and the production is still impressive today. When Tim Burton was building his fictional world of Gotham City, many Metropolis elements were used, including building designs, sprawling buildings, the shadows lurking all over the city. Many posters of his movies use these elements as well. Jack Skellington, standing atop the infamous curved hill among the shadows of Halloween Town, has German expressionism written all over it. Look closely at the poster for Big Fish, and every branch on the tree features dramatic curves and angles similar to those seen in the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Even the remake of Planet of the Apes featured curves, shadows, and dark German expressionist features in a design mainly featuring apes. Another aspect of German expressionism, anthropomorphism, better explained as giving objects human-like actions and qualities. The use of anthropomorphism has been seen since the beginning. Vincent featured a creepy Jack-in-the-Box coming to life. The Nightmare Before Christmas is full of characters and moments where creatures and items have human-like qualities. Beetlejuice showcased all types of items coming to life, especially during the wedding scene when the collections of statues come alive thanks to Beetlejuice. Sleepy Hollow brings an engaging mystery, along with some anthropomorphism applied to Headless Horseman. The Corpse Bride features singing skeletons and a whole land of the dead which has come to life. And even though Burton relies on the heavy influence of German expressionism, he still makes each movie world stand out from each other. The world of the afterlife in Beetlejuice stands out when compared to Edward Scissorhands' Gothic mansion, which looms over the picture-perfect family-oriented neighborhood. Sleepy Hollow truly feels like a 1799 village, while the Planet of the Apes feels like a true and life, planet full of apes.
Seriously.
Burton's style splashes all over the screen. Building the mood and world is something Tim Burton tries to achieve within the first moments of a film. He finds that the opening sequence and main movie titles are essential for building the themes and feeling of a movie. Looking back, this trend is evident. Burton has consistently woven them into the fabric of the story, creating an atmosphere and world building as soon as possible. Just look at Pee-wee's Big Adventure. The opening credits are in an all-white and basic font. When the title of the movie pops up, each letter is in a different color, and the whimsical whimsical font displays on the screen, showing us the wackiness and life Pee-wee brings to the screen before we even see the character. The Batman opening is now iconic, first starting with the Warner Bros. Studio logo. The logo is typically surrounded by a blue sky and white clouds, but Burton fought to have the background transition into the dark and gloomy skies of Gotham City. Today, we see companies like DreamWorks, 20th Century Fox, and Columbia use custom studio logos for their movies all the time, but Batman was one of the earlier ones to do it, along with other classics like Cannonball Run. Burton used the same method for Edward Scissorhands, when the 20th Century Fox logo featured snow piled up on different areas. Following the logo transition in Batman, the opening credits follow a maze through the Batman symbol. Many of his openings feature plot points or symbols tied directly into the movie. This includes the flying spaceships in Mars Attacks, ape art and weapons in Planet of the Apes, a look inside the chocolate production process for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and the floating bassinet in Batman Returns. And all of these openings are complemented with one of Tim Burton's longtime collaborators, composer Danny Elfman. Elfman brings life and layers to Burton's movies, with many of the main title themes and soundtracks standing out on their own. Elfman's musical tracks go above and beyond just simple music. Sound effects, quirky noises, and a wide array of music are an essential and unforgettable part of any Tim Burton movie. Elfman has the ability to dig deep into the mind of Tim Burton and turn his thoughts into full-fledged soundtracks. Just look at the opening for Beetlejuice. The title graphic is great, but watch the shots over suburbia with some simple stock music. Now replace the music with Danny Elfman's score, and you have perfect movie magic. The Batman theme from Danny Elfman has gone above and beyond just background music for the movie. The film was Elfman's first big-budget production, and went above and beyond to ensure perfection. Between the Prince tracks and Elfman's music, the film's score perfectly captures the mood and tone Burton set out to create with his version of Batman. In just the opening of the movie, Burton's goal was to make people forget about the campy style of the 1960s show.
Holy stuffy! Exactly, Robin.
And Elfman's moody music helped cement this fact. His Batman main theme went on to become a part of the Batman animated series theme song, used in various Lego Batman video games, and was also sampled in the recent live-action Justice League. Along with Elfman, Tim Burton has infused all types of other music into his movies. There's the Joker dancing along to Prince music, the citizens of Halloween Town singing "This Is Halloween," and the dinner party breaking out into song during Beetlejuice. As dark and imaginative Burton can be, he uses music to infuse a lot of fun and happiness into his movies. He even took on a full movie musical with a dark comedy and Broadway adaptation of Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
Would have been better if it didn't have him in it.
Internal feelings,
she was fantastic.
Move the story forward and help establish the atmosphere of the world he's created. Danny Elfman often helps with the songs as well, whether he's writing lyrics for the Oompa Loompas in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or singing in The Corpse Bride. As Burton develops movie ideas, he brings Elfman on board as early as possible, and sometimes it's the music itself which can help guide some aspects of the production and design. But if we go all the way back to the beginning of the production, it starts with Burton's writing and development process. Much like his movies and characters, Burton does not follow the norm when creating movies and stories. His initial ideas often begin with just a piece of art. A simple drawing helps lead the way for the development of the whole project. Before the outfits, capes, and sets were built on 1989's Batman, Burton drew some literal inspiration in the form of the Joker. The purple suit Jack Nicholson wears at the end of the film is almost identical to Burton's drawing. After filming Batman, Burton went on to work on the sequel Batman Returns, and one of the first drawings he came up with was the Penguin. This drawing was completed very early in production, and ended up looking a lot like the final product, as Danny DeVito was transformed into the creepy villain. Burton also illustrated designs for the switched-up Catwoman costume, which became one of the most iconic parts of the movie. The trend continued when planning his production of Mars Attacks. Based off a series of peculiar Topps baseball cards of all things, Burton brought the aliens to life first by creating detailed sketches of their design. Even with digital designs and 3D storyboard artists, Burton often returns to pen, paper, and paints for inspiration. His concept art is now iconic, and even used for modern-day movies. Just look at some of his art for the 2010 release of Alice in Wonderland. Here's the final version of the Red Queen. Her big head matches her big ego, and the design was definitely a unique take on the royal leader.
Would have been better off if someone else did it.
Months before production even began, everything is there.
It wasn't what I was
the Red
on.
Queen's giant head, unique clothes, and even the shape of her hair. From concept to final design, we
should have
see
got
how
the guy
visual
that
Burton
did
is before
the
words
game
are
that I
even
play
put
on
a
Mondays.
page. When taking on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Burton had a much bigger challenge. The 1971 version of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was already so visually iconic, right down to Wonka's suit, hair, and cane. For his new version, he envisioned a different-looking Wonka, and the end result
thank you
was
for the
Johnny
raid!
Depp with
Thank
very
you!
white teeth and some straight hair. This design wasn't
Hi,
Depp's
hello,
preference
I'm
or something
Pyra
made
Z,
up on
your
set.
little
Once
Faza.
again,
Welcome
Burton's
to
concept
my
art was used as
stream.
a blueprint for the final character design.
I'm just doing a
There
quick
are many
thing.
drawings which end up going unused because a movie gets canceled or
Hi.
trapped in development. One of them was for
Thank
the
you for
film
that, Jack.
Superman Lives. After taking on the world of Batman, Burton was set
What
to
the
take on
fudge?
Superman and introduce the hero in a radical new way, including a
Thank you
long-haired
for
Nicolas Cage
the
suited up
raid.
for
I
test
really
shots
do
in the
appreciate
role.
it, Bunny Muffin.
Burton's drawings focused on the villain of the film, Brainiac, and the various forms he could take for Superman Lives. After multiple years of development, the
I'm
film
gonna do it
fell
anyway.
apart and was never to be. For The Nightmare Before Christmas, Burton had
I'm
been
so
drawing
happy
versions
to
of Jack
have you
Skellington
raid
for
with
She never cursed, but she will literally say flippin' fudge.
Marco, I hate you!
That was your last chance! You cannot do it again!
That would have been something to see, wouldn't it?
typically stops with his writing. Out of all his films, he has only been credited for the story
Thank
and
you so
characters.
much for the
never
raid.
for
I
a full
hope your stream was
screenplay. As a
good.
visual
I
storyteller,
really
he
do.
relies on professional screenwriters to fill in the pieces, add the dialogue, and build the full plot around the world he has created. As a director, he
Thank
makes
you
everything
so
come to
much.
life
You
and
are
builds a
awesome.
synergy that comes alive when one of his films is completed. And because of his special communication skills and happiness with following similar routines, Burton has often gone back to the same people for multiple movies.
This is
There's
going to be the biggest raid I've
then
ever
as one of his
had.
main
Thank you
composers,
so
and on the
much.
writing side, Burton has often teamed up with screenwriter John
I got an
August,
eggs
known for
nose
films
to
like
the-
Go and the upcoming live-action Aladdin. August collaborated with Burton to write Big Fish, The Corpse Bride, Frankenweenie, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and the story for Dark Shadows. In front of the camera is where some of his more well-known collaborations have taken place. One of the main actors to work with Tim Burton, Johnny Depp. According to
started
Burton
off
himself, Depp and Burton
in A
have an
Nightmare on Elm
unwritten
Street.
language and understanding of each
He-
other.
he was
Even
the
though he's
drunk
a director
boyfriend
with a great vision, his
of
communication is
Nancy.
different than a typical
Was
director
his first
or
acting,
creator.
serious
And
acting
Burton
role.
often teams up with actors who understand his vision, style, and
How insane
minimalistic
is
language
that?
while filming. Burton has the ability to get the best out of Depp, and Depp typically understands exactly what Burton is looking for through a performance. The two have created a whole gallery of visual characters, where just as much costume and design go into the performance. The scarred, wide-eyed Edward Scissorhands was a breakout role for Depp, and he continued to transform himself by slicking his hair back and playing director Ed Wood in the campy tale of the cheap-budgeted and inexperienced Hollywood director. Then there's the Sleepy Hollow investigator.
He was
Chocolate
good in
Factory
Sleepy
owner,
Hollow, I will
quirky
give him
vampire
that.
with complicated family, and the infamous
Someone else could
Mad
have been
Hatter.
there.
Alongside Depp in many of those films was Helena Bonham Carter. The actress clicked
Her
with
singing
Burton so
voice is
well, the two began a
insane.
romantic relationship with each other, and even had 2 kids together.
Ah.
Despite being in a romantic relationship, Burton and Carter spent several years living in separate houses, right next to each other, before announcing their breakup in 2014.
Well, it's good to
And
have your
even
own space
before Burton
sometimes.
was using Depp and Carter in a lot of his films, he relied on Michael Keaton. Bringing Keaton back for Batman Returns was an obvious choice, considering he was in the original. But Keaton also
He
starred
was
as the heavily
fantastic
makeup-covered Beetlejuice. And
as
now,
Batman,
several years
and
later,
amazing
the
as
two reunited
Beetlejuice.
again for the production of Disney's live-action Dumbo. And even though he
I
definitely
so
loves
badly want to
routine,
see
there's one thing
Beetlejuice the
Burton
musical.
typically avoids: sequels. While he did sign on to do Batman Returns,
Because,
it was
oh
early
my
in his
God, the
career,
music's
and Burton
amazing.
left the franchise as Warner Bros. Headed off in a different direction with both Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Films like Edward Scissorhands have had a sequel in comic book form.
Wait, really? I didn't know about that one. I'm gonna have to look that up.
And allowing them to stand
I
on
love
their
my
own.
comic
Of
books.
course, the movies continue to live on through countless merchandise sales, the aisles of Hot Topic, even a recent mega hit like Like Disney's
Oh,
Alice in
if only
Wonderland
Hot
sparked
Topic
the
was near
production
me,
of a
I'd have
sequel,
so much
but
stuff.
Burton left the director's chair, even though a majority of the cast and production crew stuck around. A lot of Burton's movies are adaptations of comics like Batman, books like Alice in Wonderland, or remakes of other properties like Dark Shadows or Planet of the Apes. When Burton heads into a project, his goal isn't to make it modern or offer a shot-for-shot remake of the original movie. His ultimate goal is to bring his own vision to each world. For years,
Which is
Batman
awesome.
was viewed
I
as a
love that
campy comedy
about him.
thanks
I
to Adam
really
West's
do.
TV show, and Burton wanted to bring it back to its dark roots. Not only did he provide his own style in the
roots.
movie, he changed elements, including the costume and the backstory involving the death of his parents. Another thing that helps Batman stand out from other superhero movies is its lack of CG effects. Burton prefers
Practical
to rely
effects
on
are
practical
pretty
effects,
good.
even
I
for
love
fantastical
practical
elements.
effects.
At first, his reliance on practical effects
really
were
do.
mainly for the lack of technology, as seen in films like Beetlejuice when the characters transform their face, or we see sandworms jumping in and out of the dirt. Edward Scissorhands also featured a great amount of practical effects. The opening credits showcase moving machines and parts which all operate with fluid motion and incredible detail. His reliance on practical effects continued, even with 2001's Planet of the Apes. The same time Planet of the Apes was released, the CG-heavy Jurassic Park 3 was also getting released, showcasing the contrast in styles and CG design. The prosthetic makeup for the apes was incredible, and helps make the apes feel more lifelike, no matter how confusing the plot and ending of the movie was. The film won multiple awards for the makeup design. As modern filmmaking became filled with the use of CG, Burton welcomed the added changes, allowing him to expand his mind and imagination even further than before. Alice in Wonderland is a CG-filled adventure with crazy effects, giant heads, and fire-breathing dragons. The scale of the movie wouldn't have been as effective with practical designs, and the same could be said for his updated adaptation of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Even films like Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children were elevated.
That was
thanks to
kind
the
of
use
cool. I
CG.
like that one.
Just
It was
think of the
trippy.
scenes featuring the little girl with a sharp-toothed mouth on the back of her head. Whenever Burton gets the chance, he goes back to practical effects. For example, his adaptation of Dark
Welcome
Shadows
back
had
with it.
plenty of
I'm
digital
happy to have you
sets,
back.
but wide shots of houses relied on practical miniatures, and ghost scenes were shot in a water tank to get realistic views of floating hair.
Which
The
is
film
so
was a
cool.
great blend of old
I love
school
that
and modern
detail.
filmmaking, including the digital removal of every single time Johnny Depp blinked, so his vampire character could come off as realistic as possible. Burton has proved he can adapt with the times, and CG effects are still able to show his unique style. But if there's one true representation of Burton's filmmaking and personal touch, it's with animated movies. Ever since his early days of filmmaking, Burton has always connected with the world of animation. One of the main reasons was the ability to make films while still being isolated. He could create characters, build worlds, and make a
Really?
whole movie
Wow,
using
I had
minimal
no
cast and
idea.
crew. Even though Disney fired Burton after making Vincent
Well,
and
welcome
Frankenweenie,
back.
they saw the
I'm happy
massive
to have you.
success he had with Beetlejuice and Batman, wanting him back in the fold. Burton was not only hired to help create and produce A Nightmare Before Christmas, but Disney decided to finally release his live-action version of Frankenweenie, to much acclaim. The film was made in 1984, but many people
did not
didn't see
enjoy
it until
Frankenweenie.
1992, when it was released on home video. Starring Shelley Duvall and Daniel Stern as a young boy's
How's
parents,
my-
the
my
30-minute
fire-haired
short was a
dude
great
looking?
homage
How's
and
Koji
parody
looking?
to
You
the
looking
original
good?
Frankenstein. The Nightmare Before Christmas was the first in a series of stop-motion films Burton would either produce or direct. The film helped revitalize the world of stop motion and proved that no
It's
matter
gonna be
how
something
much
once I get
technology
drawn
or
in.
animation improved, the world of stop motion is a very specific art form and often beloved by the masses. After The Nightmare Before Christmas, Burton once again teamed with director Selick to produce 1996's James and the Giant Peach.
That was
After
okay,
the
but
1995
I
release
prefer
of
the
Toy
other ones.
Story, CG animation took over Hollywood, and more studios popped up. Burton stuck to his vision and style to create and direct 2005's Corpse Bride. Written by John August, Corpse Bride is an animated visual feast. The
It was
stop-motion effects
beautiful.
and filmmaking method clearly improved in the years since The Nightmare Before Christmas, and it shows. The movie is trademark Burton, including everything you'd come to expect from one of his movies. Someone looking for the perfect example of Burton's work can look no further than the tale involving an anxious man who's hesitant about marriage and inadvertently gets sent down to the world of the dead. There's German
I'm
expressionism,
happy to take
Danny
out
Elfman's
any
music,
videos
and vocals,
that
dark humor, characters feeling
define
isolated and a celebration of the macabre.
Don't
also
defy
turned to actor
Twitch
staples
systems of
like
service.
Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter for voice roles in the
just put it in
gothic
the
and
chat.
dark movie musical. Another
Or you
theme
can join my
found in The
Discord and
Corpse
put it in
Bride,
through there.
a dead dog
But
sidekick.
I'm happy to
As
take it
morbid
from
as
the
it
chat.
sounds, a majority of Tim Burton's animated movies have featured dead dogs as characters. The trend began with the zombie dog Abercrombie in Vincent, continued with Zero in The Nightmare Before Christmas, and The Corpse Bride also featured a skeleton dog by the name of Scraps. After producing the animated movie 9 in 2009, Burton decided to make the dead dog theme his lead character for his next animated directing gig. In 2010, Burton went back to his roots for the black and white stop-motion film Frankenweenie. The film is a feature-length adaptation of his original short film. One of young Victor's only friends is his dog Sparky, who dies in an accident. Unable to accept his death and move on, Victor digs Sparky up.
I'm gonna pause this for now. We'll finish it a bit in a little bit, but that we'll watch this and then Jade's video and then we'll continue. How's that sound, guys? Does it sound good? I hope it sounds good. Heidi? Okay. Ooh. I'm on TikTok with the same as I am when Pyra doesn't do her. What? I dance around. Pyra always messing around. Why not? Why not mess around? I like to mess around. I like to mess around. Mess around, mess around, mess around.
I'm kicking your ass!
What the hell? What the hell?
And reanimates the dog back to life. Messing with science comes with a lot of unintended
Get back to work.
consequences,
Okay, I
especially
will.
when schoolmates begin experimenting with bringing their own pets back to life. The theme with dead dogs is not just Burton's morbid thoughts and ideas. It's based around his own childhood. The loss of Burton's childhood pet and beloved companion has clearly had a large impact on the director. The inability to accept the loss of his dog ran strong through him. And while he couldn't bring his dog back in real life, he did have the ability to do it in a fictional world. As dark as the idea of a zombie dog might seem,
Zombie
there is a layer of hope hidden
dog!
underneath. Hope can be found
Zombie
in the
Doge!
possibility of
Zombie
meeting your dog
Doge!
again one day. Frankenweenie offers a lot more than just Burton's love and connection to his childhood dog. The movie is an homage to his childhood as a whole. The giant pet monsters that form and come back to life are representative of his love for black and white monster movies as a child. The disconnected parents who try too hard to be normal are
It's all
reflective
good.
of his
Please
own
like,
parents and
support,
growing up
subscribe,
with
and
them.
follow. I
Victor
really
even
do
spends
appreciate
a
it.
lot
You
of
guys
time
are
alone in
awesome.
the attic, similar to Burton's own isolation in his dark and gloomy bedroom. Victor's character is clearly an outsider, something Burton has felt all of his life, even after achieving major Hollywood success.
Nobody seems to really like me. I don't know.
Burton's love for classic actors like Vincent Price also comes through with characters like the science teacher. And of course, the movie does a lot to reflect on his own film career. Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands star Winona Ryder returns to the Burtonverse to voice a character in the movie. There's a gravestone with Zero written on it. The weird girl comes from Burton's own book, The Melancholy Death of Oyster Boy and Other Stories. The book and Burton's drawing style has also led to his own animated miniseries entitled The World of Stain Boy. The 6 shorts are based off of Burton's art, featuring a lot of quirky characters and designs,
Honestly.
including a bully bowling ball, a weird girl, and Robot Boy. The animation quickly spread online and allowed fans to connect with Burton through a special Burton Story Twitter account. On the account, fans could contribute to Stain Boy's story, and Burton would select the best entries for himself. It's through films like Frankenweenie and The Corpse Bride where we can see into the mind of Burton, even more so than his live-action movies. Along with his memorable and marketable characters like Jack Skellington, The Corpse Bride, and Frankenweenie, there was the potential for a lot more in Tim Burton's animated world. The Addams Family and Tim Burton seem like a perfect match, and could have been. A
I'm looking
stop-motion
forward
Addams
to the
Family
Tim
movie was
Burton
in development for multiple years
Wednesday
before the
series
project
that's
was
coming out this
dropped. A new
October.
Addams
I hope
Family
it's good.
animated film is set for release in the
I
future.
really do.
But Tim Burton is not attached attached to the current project. Other animation plans included a PG-13 rated film entitled Deep, but plans fell through before production even began. And then there was Monsterpocalypse, blend of live action and animation based on the cult board game. The epic film was fully written by John August, but ultimately the film was dropped because of the similar robots and alien fighting premise found in the Pacific Rim series. And over the years, Burton's animations stand out on their own, but clearly the self-proclaimed outsider has inspired a lot of others. Burton's style is often imitated in a sincere form of flattery and honor. Animated films like Monster House, Coraline, and Paranorman all stand out on their own.
Not saying Paranorman, but Coraline was nice.
Style, designs, and use of German expressionism. And then there are legions of fans who create all types of Burton fan art, products, and Burton-themed art designs. He has clearly impacted a lot of people.
When I was a teenager, I tried to make
millions of fans
A
will
Nightmare
adore him for the rest of their
Before
lives.
Christmas into a stage play.
Visitors to Burton's official website get to enjoy controlling Stain Boy, exploring a lot of his art, and connecting with the director in the digital age. But Burton's career has not been all filled with fantastical worlds and big imaginations. Sleepy Hollow may have been about the Headless Horseman, but it was felt like more of a grounded mystery period piece. Big Fish was ultimately about the connection between father and son, even if flashbacks did involve circus sideshow acts, giants, and
My
witches.
Halloween
His
costume
most
this year
grounded
is
movie may have
me?
been Big Eyes, the true story of Margaret Keane, an
I'm
artist
planning
known for
a
painting
costume.
images with
I'm trying to
giant
see if I
eyes
can
on
get,
people and animals. Her husband takes credit for her work
wings
and
to come
eventually
out of my
takes him to
hips so I
court
can dress
over
up
the
as
true
Albert
ownership of
from,
the paintings. Amy Adams ended up winning the Golden
Overlord.
Globe for Best Actress in the
But
movie
if that
and received
fails, I'm
great
just gonna
reviews
do,
from critics.
Alice.
And Tim Burton's career shows no sign of stopping yet.
Although
Truly
whatever I
coming
choose
full
to be
circle
my
since his early days in
costume,
Hollywood, Burton is once again
it's probably going to make its way into my regular rotation. Like this outfit I got for Christmas. It was my Christmas
outfit. A new
outfit.
generation will experience a connection when he brings the big-eared elephant to life. The film reunites
Dumbo
some of
was
Burton's
disappointing.
longtime actors and crew. Danny Elfman returns for the magical score. Danny DeVito, who starred in Batman Returns and Big Fish, appears as Max, a circus ringmaster.
It was so disappointing,
Michael Keaton
that movie.
also returns as ruthless businessman. Eva Green also has a role and is one of the newest actresses to join the Burton fold after starring in Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. The film has a lot of signature Tim Burton elements and has built up a lot of hype before its March 29th release. After the release of
Sadly,
Dumbo,
it
Burton
let
can
us all
go
down.
anywhere. He's at a point
Yeah, I
in
need
his
to
career
get
where he
Halloween
has the
outfit
ability to
next
take
time.
on all types of projects.
Well, you could
It's
always
been
do
7
the,
years since
maid
Frankenweenie
outfit or
was
something.
released, and fans would love to see another Burton animation come to life. And while he is teaming with Michael Keaton again
But
for
I love
Dumbo,
Halloween.
there has been
Any
news and
excuse to
rumors
dress
for
up.
years
So,
about a
yeah,
sequel
I'm
to
trying for our
Beetlejuice.
better.
With superhero movies overtaking the box office year
do a
after
maid
year,
costume.
it would be interesting to see Burton take on another superhero film, especially with the wide selection of quirky heroes. Could you imagine if he had directed his own version of the Guardians of the Galaxy? Either way, diving deep into the mind of Tim Burton
Actually,
reveals
what
a
would be
lot
really
of
good on you,
themes,
Clem,
visuals,
I
and
reckon
characters
would
in his
be if
film.
you got
His
like
isolated
a
upbringing
Jack
has made a
Skellington
huge
suit
imprint on his career, and you can get a detailed
for your
glimpse of the personal life of the
VTuber to
filmmaker
wear.
just by
I
watching
think that would
his
be
movies.
awesome.
Tim Burton will go down as one of the most well-known directors. His films stand out on their own and as a group of collective films. He is not only an icon of the 90s, but a filmmaker still making an impact and influencing filmmakers all over the world. And now, we're back at MoMA, looking at Burton's art and creations from over the years. Knowing the
Hitting
inside
on
of
you
his
confirmed,
mind,
huh?
his childhood, and his life gives us a better appreciation for everything he creates. So, what's your favorite Tim Burton movie? What do you want to see next? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Screen Rant for more great content and
Sorry for making such a
documentaries.
long video, but I just really wanted to watch it, and I thought I'd share it with you guys. Yeah. I have another video, or I could get a video from any of you. What should I watch now? So October you had TwitchCon Bound for Glory and Extreme Rules by What do you mean? October you Sorry, I'm having trouble reading it because of my dyslexia at the moment. Give me a second. So October you had TwitchCon? Twitch content Bound for Glory and Extreme Rules. Maybe? Maybe. I do have dyslexia. I got special filters and everything on my computer to make it easier, but sometimes I still get things mixed up. That's why that's one of my tags, because it's true. I have dyslexia. That's why I have to... Yeah, it really does. It means I cannot watch subbed anime. I'm stuck with dubbed, and not everything awesome gets dubbed.
Blaze versus Pyra Z, final round. Hold on, boys. More? Hold on, more?
Revolution, motherfuckers!
What'd she say?
Revolution!
She said it with the hard ER, man. What the fuck?
Revolution, motherfucker! I've just had someone read it for you. I've tried that, but my Kara doesn't do voices, so it's all like monotoned. Ha! Look, one of the recommendations is one of my VODs. Oh no, two of them. There are two of my VODs as recommendations on the video. Holy shit, that's awesome. Okay with it? I click on your video.
Holy shit, she is huge. Why is she so fucking big?
Why'd she make me jump?
I'd be mad as fuck too if I was that big. Damn.
It made me jump.
Screaming in my ear and shit.
What?
Oh, I need to look at her again. That's insane. Yo, she's like the one bitch from Lazy Town.
Why did... Yeah, she was a bit. But... It made me jump. Like, notice it, you know? Can't believe that made me jump. That makes no sense. It made me jump. That was halfway loud. Do I have the volumes screwed up or something? Am I is it not loud enough? Because I can turn it up. That game be scary? Ah. No, the volume was perfect. Cool. I might have to look into that one for Morbid Monday. You know, once I finish with Alice. The game is well, I played Poppy Playtime and that was actually scary. That scared. There were some moments because I had noise cancelling headphones on. So it made things very difficult for me. Nun Massacre. Okay, I will keep that in mind. Could send you the chase theme. Maybe. I love horror movies, believe it or not. So, yeah.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
No! Wow, Poochie came from another planet? I guess.
That so easily could be changed into Koji. He came from another planet. It might well, yeah, it might. But I just wasn't expecting it to be that big, that right there in no time. But I do enjoy the horrors. Gonna click on this video now. See if there's no others.
Marriage is like a garden. Like, you gotta water it and give it sunlight, and Morticia and Gomez are always looking for the good things about each other, to praise, to build up. They have a deep shared meaning of their family.
Yeah,
their
they do.
family is literally everything.
I think we've all learned something from these horrible goth weirdo monster people.
It's not horrible.
Oh my gosh, it's so messed up.
It's not messed up, it's beautiful. You're messed up for thinking it's
Hello,
messed
welcome
up.
to Cinema Therapy. I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies. This is
Alan Seawright, guy who needs to adjust his shirt, professional filmmaker.
And then pat your stomach.
And I need therapy and to go to the gym.
I think he looks hella fine. Now here's the thing, folks. Today, in honor of Halloween, I love healthy marriage movies, and there aren't that many healthy marriage movies.
Well, it's tough to get drama out of a healthy marriage because it's like people getting on.
What you can get is comedy.
You can get good comedy out of it.
Especially if the healthy marriage is super kinky.
Super kinky and sort of murdery.
Leather straps, red hot pokers. Later, my dearest.
I haven't been watching that with, as relationship goals
So
when I was little.
What did you call
Not
them?
at all.
Morton goats?
Morton goats. Morticia and Gomez from the Addams Family movies.
We're not.
Listen, it's been a long couple of months.
Morton goats is not a thing now. Like hashtag Morton goats is gonna start like blowing up now.
Not.
It's not going to happen.
Please don't.
We're looking at the 1990s,
I might send you
1990s Barry Sonnenfeld versions.
So, okay.
Largely because
Go right ahead.
the animated ones aren't as kinky, and we demand some serious kink in our healthy, happy marriages.
Get to work. I am working. Look.
And we're going to use this as a launching pad. There's a book by Dr. John Gottman called 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work. So we're going to talk about what the principles are as illustrated by
But if I
Morticia
do,
Gomez.
then you
But I
might
think we
want to
should just
turn
go
the
ahead
volume
and
down.
Dive in.
Great, let's do it.
Okay.
So she's asleep.
Look at her. I would die for her.
Don't see artwork being worked on.
Kill for her.
Oh no.
Either
I
way
am working on it. Look.
Unhappy, darling.
Every single shot of Angelica Houston, she's in like a 40s noir movie. Some of them are with Raul Julia, but every single shot of Morticia.
Gomez. Son, il me perce comme un poignard.
No, Tish. That's French.
Oui.
En garde, Monsieur Soleil.
Gomez. Querida. Last night you were unhinged. You were like some desperate howling demon. You frightened me.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Oh my god.
Okay, so right out of the gate, I want to talk about with you, my filmmaker friend.
Yeah.
How the
What
Addams.
the hell is going on?
Well, because you had in the '60s, you had the original TV series where they're creepy and they're kooky and they're in love and
Serious
everything.
and
But this
spooky.
got a major
All
90s
together
update.
kooky.
Oh,
The
we got a
Addams
major
Family.
Barry Sonnenfeld because Barry Sonnenfeld.
Harry gives no
is
shit about
Tim
Pyra.
Burton.
Oh, I do.
Without all the bullcrap.
I don't put
Barry
these
Sonnenfeld,
VODs
you have our permission to put that on your business cards.
on YouTube. I cut this part off.
No,
Because this is pre Men in Black. This is
this is pretty early in his career. I think he'd done a couple of films at this point.
Yeah.
And he was actually at Cal Arts with Tim Burton and Brad Bird and a whole bunch of the Pixar crew. They were all there at the same time. Super stylized. It's a live action cartoon. The script it's just a sitcom script.
It's perfect.
All your life.
It's not a big movie script. It's mostly just weird one-liners.
Uh-huh.
And do it again.
And you get
it's
all your
just
life.
great.
The first thing I want
Twitch
to talk
copyright.
about is called shared love maps.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And a love map is in your brain, like
I do
your
care, it's
understanding
just-
of who your partner
I've not
is,
actually
what
had
their
any
likes
problems
are,
with
what
it.
their dislikes are, what their passions are,
Okay.
what they want out of life. Right here in this first scene, he knows she doesn't like the light. This is the first time I noticed that there's some weird
The little
Burton-esque
plant
Yeah,
thing that's like,
it's like,
and it's like
light.
hiding from the light.
Okay, totally didn't notice that before.
It's Audrey
This
too.
movie is packed to the brim with weird crap in the background like that. That's just
I love it.
So strange and so specific. And there's
I don't
tons of
care.
detail.
I'm just.
Right out of the gate,
That's why I'm not watching the actual
closing
thing.
the
So I'm
blinds
watching
for her.
things
Of course,
about the
he's
thing.
using a sword. He's unguarding the blinds, but he's immediately seeing to her comfort, right? And to what it is that when she says the light, he automatically knows she does not want the light.
Right.
And he is very, very attentive to her feedback and to her needs, to her likes and her dislikes.
Extremely attentive.
And there's this undercurrent throughout the series that they have a very robust,
extremely robust sex life.
Yes.
Robust is the correct word.
But she speaks French to him. He speaks, Spanish to her. And I just have a hard time. They've recast and they're going to remake the Addams Family, and they've done it with cartoon. They're going to do it live action again, and I just think we got perfection.
Yeah, you're not going to top this.
No.
Do you think she might it? Of course.
It'd be impossible to top it.
I'm making such a mess of things. Gomez, how do you do it? How can I be like you? How can I be suave?
Christopher Lloyd is the greatest cartoon character.
Sublime creature on earth. Yes, that's it.
We're back. Nose is powdered.
Oh, she blinks.
Perfection achieved. We are the luckiest brothers on earth. We are unworthy of such splendor, undeserving of such radiance.
He really is all complimented for them, isn't he?
That's right. We should have ugly girls.
So number 2 is nurture your fondness and admiration.
Okay.
And so here we see Gomez. He's telling Fester, woo her, admire her, make her feel like she's the most sublime creature on the planet.
Sure.
And of course,
Fester's great at this.
Fester just completely watches it. But this comes from, it starts with the friendship, but Gomez is completely invested in. It's like we never stopped dating.
Oh yeah, he's doing the Cyrano de Bergerac playbook too, of like way flowery, overblown, just insane compliments and stuff.
And it's great.
It never even slowed down.
No girl would not love that.
Pale and mysterious. No one even looked at the corpse.
Well, and the important thing is, like, Morticia totally digs that.
Yeah.
Because if she didn't,
then it would be bad.
And that would be a poorly construed love map.
If I did that with my wife,
she'd be like, "Please stop."
It would last about 20 minutes.
In some relationships, it would come across as insincere because people have different love languages.
Sure.
What I see about their relationship that I think is really beautiful is this focus on and acknowledging the positives.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite stories is 2 people walking on the same sidewalk, same time of day. One of them says, "It's a bright, beautiful day. The birds are singing. It's wonderful." And the other person says, "The sun's too bright. It's too hot. And I wish those birds would shut up."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me.
In large part, in life and in marriage, you get what you are looking for. And a lot of times, like, little annoyances build up over time. And one thing that's beautiful about Morticia and Gomez is they are always looking for the good things about each other to praise, to build up. Like, this is what Gomez is saying when he's saying, woo her, admire her, make her feel like she's the most sublime creature on the planet. You know, you don't need to do it Gomez style, but what is your partner like? How do they like to be built up? And what are the things, like when you're dating, it's easy to see all the positives.
Yeah.
And for some reason you get married and you get a few years in.
Everything that was great becomes...
You see beneath the mask.
So nosy.
And a marriage is like a garden, like you gotta water it and give it sunlight. And even though the Adamses don't much care for sunlight.
My darling, it's you I'm worried about. The stress, all this squabble.
See, how's it looking?
I'm just like any modern woman, trying to have it all. Loving husband, a family. It's just I wish I had more time to seek out the dark forces and join their hellish crusade.
That's all. I love it.
You can, you shall, so it must be.
But how?
So the third principle in making marriage work is turning towards each other instead of away.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, they get wrapped up in their own passion projects, or they get wrapped up in the things that they want to do with their life, instead of taking time to say, hey, what you want matters to me. What's going on with you matters to me. Like the stresses that you're dealing with. And so I love in this scene that Gomez shows, he's going to bring his day to a complete stop, and he's going to attend to what's going on with her.
The most important thing in my life right now is what's up with you.
And the Gottmans talk about having 15-minute stress-reducing conversations every day, where you just talk about, you can talk about the good things, or you can talk about not related to the relationship. Because if you're saying, here's some things that stress me out and they're your fault, then it's not building closeness. That could be a separate conversation. Sure. But to have a conversation about here's what's going on with me, and just to have the other person either listen or offer solutions is very, very bonding. And that's the thing. It only needs to be 15 minutes because life gets busy.
Cool. This magnificent piece is encrusted with rubies and 15 emerald chips.
Oh, their hair's all messed up because she can't get it off.
I love that that guy was once Gomez.
This year, over half our proceeds will benefit the elderly and the mentally disabled. I'll open the bidding at $5,000.
That works.
Not good enough. 20,000.
What are they doing?
I have 20.
25.
25.
30.
35. It is divine.
50.
I have $50,000.
Your turn, my ecstasy.
50,000 going once. 50,000 going twice.
Hey, whatever gets you going, man.
To Morticia Adams for $50,000.
Oh, she's having fun. She had a happy. She had a happy. Yeah, she had a happy.
See what's going on, and then her moan takes us into the next scene. Like we kept that shot in there because it's like, what a weird, funny,
let's go,
bizarre cut of like Ford Probe.
She had a happy.
What are they doing? Are clothes flying?
Right.
What is happening right now that they're making those noises?
Like we have her moans and we have the judge's
He must be good with his hands.
Like it's so great. Oh man, it's just.
Speaking of the Adamses' passionate relationship, there is an idea among some people that sex will fix everything in a relationship. I explore whether or not that's true in this Men in Light video, so check that out.
Brilliant.
Okay, so this illustrates number 4, which is letting your partner influence you. And I love that he starts with the, he's like, ha, not good enough, 20,000. And then he gets to 25, and then he turns to her, and he says, cara mia.
Your turn.
And what I love is it's a question.
Yeah.
He's like, do you want to go along with this?
Do you want to play?
Yeah. Do we want to? He's not telling her to bid. He's not. He's asking her.
That's a good point. It's a question. It's not like now you.
Yeah.
It's a different thing. That's
And so because he's not demanding it of her, she's giving it freely.
Mm-hmm.
She's accepting influence, but the difference between accepting influence and your partner telling you what to do is that it's a request. It's a question. That comes with a recognition that you don't have to do things my way. It's a sign of respect.
Mm-hmm.
How long has it been since we've waltzed?
I've said this before.
Just hours.
That the sexiest thing is someone who treats you with respect.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually see this. He treats her with respect, and the moment he asks her she wants to play this game, she feels respected, and thus begins the foreplay.
And the foreplay lasts for 3 bids.
Oh yeah, it does.
That's it.
You know,
and look, if auctions are your foreplay, more power to you.
I think the implication is that literally anything is.
I think literally anything. Listen, if you have a relationship where you can turn anything into foreplay,
that's a beautiful thing.
That is magical. So there's a scene in the film where Morticia is talking to her mother, and she says his trains are everywhere, and then we cut upstairs to where he's playing with his trains. Which, when this movie came out, when I was like 9 or 10 years old and had my model trains, this was my favorite scene of the movie. He's like, well, all the trains and stuff, and then he explodes them. But also, it's such
I always questioned how there was a person on the train.
The love map stuff that you were talking about,
yeah,
where she knows exactly what playing with his trains means.
Oh no. Father's playing with his trains.
Trains are everywhere means he's stewing and trying to figure out what's going on.
And he's stressed out and he's overwhelmed and
So he suspects that Fester is not who he says he is, and all of this stuff, and all of these suspicions come to a head in this next scene that I think we want to talk about.
These trains are everywhere. The children are beside themselves. Is that for your brother? I don't think so.
All these just dumb jokes.
This can't go on. How can I help him? Tell me, Mama.
Every single scene has just a dumb murder joke in it.
Yeah, it does.
Adultery?
Oh,
Financial money troubles.
no.
Turned into toad or reptile.
Is there an index?
So this is just a real brief example of what John Gottman says. Number 5 is solve your solvable problems. That there's a certain percentage of problems in a marriage that are unsolvable. You're never gonna solve them. It just comes down to personality differences, or it comes down to just like things can get better. You can grow for each other. You can change for each other. You can evolve for each other. But at the end of the day, you're always gonna be you. So there are some problems that are unsolvable. But so you focus, and this is like our radical acceptance episode. You focus on those things that you can control. You focus on those things that you can solve.
Turned into a rodent or a, what was it, rodent or lizard?
Yeah, right. And so here she's
can
just
solve that
consulting with her mom, and I love this. The little thing I love about it is that she is actively looking to solve a problem for her husband.
Sure. Yeah.
That she's not saying this is his problem, or he can just go ahead and deal with it. That she cares enough to be looking for outside help and looking for solutions. So speaking of solving your solvable problems, the Adams are going to go to what they think is a credible therapist.
Dr. Pinderschloss.
Yes.
With the goofiest accent.
So let's watch this scene and talk about what it means for their marriage.
A faker, a phony, an utter fraud, a base, deceitful.
Talking about Fester.
Adams. I believe I'm understanding. I can help. Jess?
Who he suspects is a fraud.
The theory of displacement. Is this familiar?
No. Tish?
Oh, it is too exciting. I will explain.
Is it unpleasant?
Deeply. Your very own brother. You drive him away. Go, off with you. But then you are feeling the little black monster.
Pugsley.
Guilt. Your brother returns, you feel guilty, you displace.
I do?
The feelings in your brain cells, they bubble and collide.
Bubble and collide?
Things.
Bubble and collide?
You resent him. Love, hate, hate, love. Like for mama, no?
But I didn't hate my mother. It was an accident.
Alright, here's the timestamp part. You ain't got to watch the whole video. Just fits a little for the chase. It took 8 minutes.
And here I thought Fester was the problem.
Oh, okay.
Sullen,
He's furtive.
backstabbing.
He sulks.
I suspect him.
You're unbalanced.
And I hate him.
I'm gonna finish this video first, but then I'll do it.
He is Fester!
Thank you, Dr. Pinterschloss.
I do what I can.
Okay, so this is number 6 of the 7 principles of making marriage work, which is overcoming gridlock. What's going on?
I just can't with this movie. It's just so much. I love it.
I didn't hate my mother.
The
Was
little
an
black
accident.
monster. Pugsley.
I didn't hate my mother. It was an accident. There's like so many throwaway lines that
So
suggest
much.
a very disturbing history.
Man.
Do you remember our honeymoon?
That glorious cruise.
No calls,
No care.
no survivors.
So Dr. Pinderschloss is a fraud. That's part of the plot point.
Right.
But as pertains to Morticia and Gomez, they have no problem seeking the help of a counselor.
Sure, yeah.
They have no problem saying we've got a gridlock situation. We've got something that we don't know how to solve it. We don't know how to get past it. What Dr. Gottman calls overcoming gridlock
Okay.
is getting help to move past things, to find solutions, to get unstuck.
Which is super
And sometimes
healthy,
you can't
really.
find solutions. Sometimes it's about enduring. But that couples that make their relationship work, they don't just stay stuck on a problem and they just stay there for years.
Right.
And I've seen that with couples in therapy where they're just like, we just kind of tried to work around it. You know, like almost like a growth or a cancer or something where you just try and live your life around it until it becomes something that you can't avoid anymore.
Right.
And happy couples, balanced couples, couples that make things work, at a certain point they're gonna say it's okay for us to get help and it's not shameful. And even though this therapist is a fraud, Morticia and Gomez have zero problem like.
It's better
going
to get
a
help than
professional
not to.
and getting some help.
And here I thought Festa was the problem.
And that's awesome.
We're here to talk about Lisa's popcorn, but Jono's not going to be talking because he's too busy eating Lisa's popcorn. We have partnered with them. They have launched a subscription box where you can get 6 flavors. One of them is missing because Jono is eating it.
Because I absconded with the cookies and cream. Sorry,
It's cookies
I'm
and
not
cream.
talking.
It's really.
Let's talk about the last number 7 for 7 Principles of Making Marriage Work. Let's take a look.
Okay, we're gonna pass the middle end.
So this is a school play.
I love the performance.
Professors help them with their special effects.
Just like those movies from the Victorian, those plays from the Victorian era.
So excited.
I love that.
Okay.
How could you not cheer for that? That was fucking awesome.
Oh my gosh, it's so messed up.
Okay, so two points here. Filmmaking, number 1, the editing is so brilliant. Like the cuts to the people, getting sprayed, and then just the shocked looks on every. Like they're all timed so well to like, they take one scene that's hilarious and they manage to get like 6 big laughs out of it.
Yeah,
Because of
they
just the
really
way
do.
they
It's
cut it back
awesome.
and forth.
I love that
Number
movie.
2, and this is just a therapy thing for me, probably. I had a huge crush on Christina Ricci after this movie.
Oh yeah,
all through being a teen.
Oh yeah, and then Addams Family Values, and she's in summer camp, and she's got like a little romance going.
Oh yeah,
and we were like the exact same age. Yeah,
the exact same age, and I just had a thing for Christina Ricci, and watching this scene, I'm like, what's wrong with me?
There is
I had
nothing
a huge
wrong with
crush
you.
on that.
You were into goth. That was the term in the '90s. You were into the goth girls, apparently.
I had. Listen, I am what I am.
So this
Goth
is
girls
an
do it
example of
better.
creating shared meaning, right? That marriage isn't just paying bills and running a household and keeping things clean and raising kids and like, what are your partner's dreams? What do they want out of life? And actively knowing that and seeking to make that happen. And then finding common ground. You won't have all of the exact same dreams, but creating shared meaning. A lot of times it's we have shared dreams, but then it's also I just love you and want to make your dreams come true, and that's the shared meaning. It's like we go both ways with that. Now in their case, they have a deep shared meaning of their family.
Yeah.
I mean, their family is literally everything. Her mom, his brother, their kids, the time they spend together, the things they do together. I mean, as disturbing as the scene is, I love how proud of their kids they
They're
are.
so proud. And to be fair, if my kids did this exact same thing,
I would be so
just
proud.
as proud as Gomez Adams.
You would
My
be.
wife would respond differently.
But you'd be like, look at the gore!
Look at how much. Oh, I'm so. They did this. They did this.
And I could totally see you talking with someone from the audience who was like, that was horrifying. And you're like, I know.
I know, right? Well, and
How could you not
my
be proud of your
middle
kids
son,
doing
Sam,
that? I mean, the
was
ingenuity to be
entire
able to
breakfast one
fucking
day, we watched the film together as a family.
Yeah.
Because I'm a good parent.
do it is
I watched this
weird.
with my kids too.
Yeah, oh, they loved it. They absolutely loved it. And he spent an entire breakfast trying to figure out how they did it because he wants to do it.
Oh yeah, you know it's so funny because adults were like, "Oh, the kids can't handle this. This is bad for kids." And what's funny is I watched this with my kids, and this was their favorite
Oh,
part.
absolutely, yeah. Look what they did. Oh, it's so funny. They're spraying blood on everyone.
Oh man, but like this family has game night. I mean, in their case, it's not Yahtzee; it's Raise the Dead.
Sure.
You know, the family, but they're. What do the kids want? You know, oh, you want to torture your brother? Well, all right, let me support you in that.
I said no.
Please.
Oh, all right.
And so even though it's very dark humor, and even though in real life, you know, a lot of this would be absolutely terrible, the actual undercurrent of how much this family loves each other, how much they support each other, and how Morticia and Gomez, I mean, we looked at the auction scene, how they kind of like, they tune out the rest of the world. I mean, whatever's happening, there's a
they're in
lot
the
of
moment
intense
for
pleasure
them.
going on.
It's
And they've just kind
definitely
of
them in
tuned
the
out
moment.
like everybody else there.
And I do have one question about that.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, this is a great example in a lot of ways of a healthy relationship. The deep level of obsession and just like
that they have for each other,
interwoven, like, is it too much? I mean, because that can get on.
No.
Yeah, I mean, and they play it for comedy here. One thing I would say is that Morticia and Gomez never neglect their kids.
Okay.
I don't see them neglecting their kids. I do see that they could get arrested for public indecency. Like, I see that could be an actual thing that happens. But
the cops in the world of Adam's family seem to not. I don't know if they've just bought the cops off.
Probably.
Like, they do a lot of stuff that you can't do.
To Morticia Adams for 50,000.
But at the end of the day, their marriage is everything to each other, supporting each other's dreams, turning towards one another, creating shared meaning, not being afraid to get help, not being afraid to look for solutions instead of just pretending that the problems don't exist. I mean, all across the board, it is a very healthy, beautiful marriage, and a wonderful example of 7 principles for making marriage work.
There you go. I think we've all learned something from these horrible goth weirdo monster people.
We love them, and so do you, as you should.
So much. If you would like to learn even more about how to have a healthy relationship than you learned in this episode, this guy over here has made some strength builders that you can get on our membership site, thecinematherapy.com.
I'm gonna have a drink, then I'm gonna put it on. Okay. Oh, pardon me. Sorry for burping near the mic. Okay. Sorry if you just died in your ears just then. No, I'm alright. Zippo for the win! This game is intense, huh? Oh. She'd be wondering a little too much. Oh. Well, you can stop watching now. Don't want to spoil. Oh, okay. Don't want to spoil it. Okay. Well, you'll have to remind me of that one another time. Yeah, I just wanted you to hear how the chase sounded. Yeah, I heard it. It made my chest go thump 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 thump. It really did. The game does look kind of crazy. Yeah, quite crazy. But that's not always a bad thing, you know? Sometimes crazy is good. Just look at the Addams Family. Mysterious, spooky, they are together kooky. They are the bop a da ba da da. Nope, there's no new ones in the Discord. No. There's one that could work.
From statues to paintings, all the way to a ghost car. Here are the top 10 haunted items too scary for museums. Starting off in our number 10 spot, we have the statue.
BRB, okay. I hope this sounds good to you guys. If you'd rather something else, let me know. And yeah.
Legend goes that this specific statue was made on the same day that William was crushed to death during a tragic work accident. A co-worker of his
I gotta
showed
find
up to work
a
the
moment where
following
they
day,
get
found that this statue was still there, so he took it home with him.
Okay.
For a while, he kept the statue hidden, but when he took it out to display it, things started to go awry. It started with just a heavy and uninviting feeling, but soon things escalated. He began to hear doors slamming on their own, only to go and find them wide open. If anything was placed next to the statue, the next time he would find it completely shattered, and at one point he found the statue in a position that he never placed it in. He finally had the last straw when he saw a dark, shadowy figure, or a sort of mist, moving around near where he placed the statue. After this, he was so spooked he had a friend list the item for him on eBay because he just simply needed to get rid of it. In our number 9 spot today, we have Uluru Rock. Uluru Rock is a large sandstone formation that is located in the southern part of the Northern Territory in Australia. It is sometimes known as Ayers Rock, but regardless of what it is called, this area is sacred for the people indigenous to the land. This is part of the reason that those who visit the rock are
landing pad.
Take anything from the site. Despite this, people of course still choose to smuggle pieces of the rock out of the area and home with them. Other than the bad karma and just in general feeling like a bad person for doing the one thing you're asked not to do, as it turns out, this rock may hold a more sinister secret. Those who have stolen rocks from the Uluru have experienced things like extremely bad luck, severe illness, and sometimes even the death of those they love. The curse these rocks hold is seemingly so bad that it is very common for the company that runs the tours of the formation to receive letters of apology that contain the stolen rocks. Apparently these letters come so often, at least one a day is expected. Maybe this is a weird coincidence, but it seems to be happening a little too often for that to be the explanation. In our number 8 spot today, we have the beds. Back in 1986, couple Deborah and Alan Tolman moved into a new home with their children in Wisconsin. The following year, they bought a second-hand set of bunk beds for their kids for $100, but as it would turn out, they bought much more than they had originally bargained for. When they brought the bunk beds into their home, they clearly must have brought something else along with it. It started when they began to see strange shapes in their home, and they would hear disembodied voices that, despite how hard they tried, they could not find the source of. They found themselves fighting with clocks and radios that turned on by themselves. Furniture that had moved seemingly all by itself, and sometimes they'd even see an apparition of an old woman. In the end, they not only threw the beds in the landfill, but they also moved from the home just to be safe.
Understandable.
As far as we know, the beds remained in the a landfill, but who's to say for sure? In our number 7 spot today, we have the Crying Children paintings. These paintings were a series created by an Italian painter who was known as Giovanni Bregolin, but his name was really Bruno Amarillo. Bruno was born in Venice in 1911 and fought in World War II, which ended up being the inspiration for a lot of his paintings. During his time in the war, he saw a lot of suffering, and this is where he got the idea for the series of Crying Children paintings. After the paintings were sold, there began to be reports of fires in all of the places where the paintings were held. Well, this could have just been a strange coincidence. The weirdest part is that the paintings always remained intact while everything else around them was burned. This quickly became the most talked about thing and was on the front of every newspaper, and the paintings quickly gained the nickname Diablo. It caused the paintings to end up being replicated and mass-produced, but none of the replicas hold quite the same powers as the originals. In our number 6 spot today, we have the Goddess statue. The Goddess of Death statue is also known as the Woman from the Lem. This artifact was made out of limestone, and it was created somewhere around 3,500 BC and was found in Cyprus in 1878. Over the years, it has belonged to many different families who all have been ruined and dismantled by death. After the first 6 years of ownership, all 7 members of the first family died. It then moved on to a second owner, and after 4 years, death began to come to him and his family as well. There was then a long period where it was unclaimed, but once the third family finally got a hold of it, several members of that family began to die as well. The third family ended up turning it over to the Royal Scottish Museum because it is, of course, an ancient relic, but legend goes that the museum curator who initially took care of it died within a year of receiving it. So maybe the curse lives on. In our number 5 the goblet. This is an item that was found in a museum, but it was a museum of specifically haunted things, so I feel like it still counts. This goblet is said to have been used for rituals of necromancy, which poses a few questions for me personally. What did they put in it and presumably drink out of it? Holy water, wine, blood, all the above? Who
Probably.
knows? Either way, here's the real kicker. This goblet was, of course, for sale on eBay because why not? And the seller was claiming that it has an amazing energy to it. Okay, what kind of energy? Well, they said that some find it strangely positive, but that many perceive it as negative and malignant. All right. Don't think I'll be bidding on that auction, to be perfectly honest. In our number 4 spot today, we have the Surrey ghost car. On December 11th, 2002, a call came into the Surrey Police Department. The caller reported that they had just seen a car lose control and run off the road and then presumably crash. It was, of course, an emergency call, but not necessarily anything out of the ordinary. That was until authorities got to the location and realized that
So after you watch the video, I'm probably gonna be.
They kept searching and ended up finding a maroon-colored car that was nose down in a ditch nearby. But this car
I do have to get off soon, but not yet.
that it must have been here for months.
I'm having too much fun.
This crash went undetected for 5 months, and worst of all, so did the body that lay nearby. Using dental records, they were able to identify the body as a man who had been wanted for robbery since July of that year. It is said that the sighting of the car leaving the road was a ghostly replay of the events that had taken place 5 months prior. In our number 3 spot today, we have doorknobs.
I love creepy stuff.
I wasn't expecting to ever hear about haunted doorknobs, but this might just be a thing that really does exist. These doorknobs were listed on eBay, and the seller explained that they were once the knobs seen on the doors at an asylum, which truly lands on the list of creepiest places in the world. Considering everything that is said to have gone on at places like these, it truly doesn't surprise me one bit. We're looking at you, lobotomies and other horrific mental health treatments of the past. These literally opened the door to some terrifying things that I'm sure many of us would prefer to not even think about. According to the eBay listing, the asylum that they came from after it was abandoned is said to have had strange whispers, occurrences, and horrifying noises coming from it. This is all to say that maybe that trip to Home Depot is better than buying antique. Just this one time. In our number 2 spot today, we have the Nightmare Doll. Haunted dolls like Annabelle and even Robert.
1 second, I'm gonna grab my teddy.
Certainly aren't the only dolls with stories of curses and hauntings behind them.
He's still studying up for after I'm dead.
The doll is possessed by a Dybbuk, which is a malicious demon or entity. The seller of the doll is actually someone who apparently specializes in selling.
I was giving him one the day I was born.
No one wants anymore.
And he's studying.
The seller explained that the owner of the doll bought it at an antique shop, and while they did tell her about what the doll held, she didn't know what the word meant, so she took it anyways. Soon after purchasing it, she realized that anyone who came into contact with the doll was then plagued with terrifying nightmares and occurrences of these sort of shadow people. She only could handle this all for a couple of months before she handed the doll over for it to be sold and moved far, far away from her. In our number 1 spot today, we have the carving. This is a carving that was sold on eBay in 2013, which the sellers claimed had been in their family for over 60 years. It was originally found by the seller's grandparents in the attic of their home. This was back in the 1950s, and when it was found, the grandparents asked the original owners of the home where it had come from. They explained that it was a gift from a prisoner who is said to have carved it. The seller explained in their post that, quote, anyone who comes in contact with it seems to feel strange or creeped out by it. The statue mostly didn't cause too much harm. That was until the seller tried to put it on display in their home. Once it was taken out of an old box and placed in a cabinet, strange occurrences began. They said that,
no,
quote,
they
I began to
disturbed it.
experience the television turning off
Poltergeist stuff. TV people! Wait. TV people!
3 a.m. At the end of the day, despite the troubles this person had
Sorry.
with the statue, they still ended
Couldn't
up
help the
selling it for
poltergeist
85
reference.
bucks. Not a bad deal. Get rid of a demon and gain some cash for it. All right, guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I will see you next time.
Bye. And now I click on your link. Not drawing, just watching. There's someone coming. There's someone coming. Fuck! Yeah. Well, that was that was something. Yeah. Not sure when you're going to end, but Vicky said hello and hopes you're doing well. Ah, thank you. Is she watching? Is Vicky watching? Buddy, put your pants back on. She is watching? Oh, that's good. Hi, Vicky. I hope you're feeling all right. Your underwear's too tight. I'll be in touch about the poster and possibly cushion if you're interested. Of me. I'll message Legacy about it. Yeah. Bro got a thong on. Does anyone have any other things for me? Twitch is a fake body, right? Oh, a fake? Well, there are some things that are definitely not fake. Like these. Chillin', just chillin', 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 hello. What should I put on now? I should put something on now. I'm out of ideas. Let's just see what YouTube's got for us. See if anything pops up. Oh, awesome. There's another Nags Reacts to VTuber clips. I love that show. I love watching those videos. Yeah, I really enjoy those. And I'm going to lose my fucking mind when I finally see myself in one of those videos because, yeah. It's so cool. ASMR movies? I'm gonna put that on watch later. I have been studying the whole ASMR thing, so yeah. So you can get one for the horror game stream. Wait, so you can get one for the horror game streams. I do like horror movies. Games, I'm still getting used to games. Games are still quite new to me. Yeah. Let's check subscribers. The sounds are kind of overkill, but they creep you. Yeah, a bit, yeah, definitely. Okay, I'm going to click on the trend not funny video and then the Dub Daddy epic fail video. And then I'll probably end for today, unless something else pops up. After all, I do got to pee, and well, it's not healthy to keep it in too long. Going crazy. La la la. No, it's only been 7 hours and 13 minutes. That sounds kind of overkill, but they're creepy. Yes. I remember this guy's videos being kind of funny. POV, maybe be in the sun. That's fair. La 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 la. Victory! 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 Motherfucking victory! 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 I know! Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more.
Yes, he's using a bag, bro. I can't play this. He thin, bro. I have to keep playing. I have to.
Bum 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 ba ba da da da. Dub daddy.
Hold it together. Hold it together.
Those poor kitties.
Christy, God damn it, we're... Start the timer again. Start the timer again. As soon as a cat comes up. Yes, I see it. Hello again, welcome. Right, you go off screen and I'll pull you in.
Okay. Pretty soon.
Just go straight up. Hello again and welcome to another video on the Dub Daddy channel today.
Okay.
Look at me stand up on this bench like an NBA YoungBoy fan. Nigga, what's up? Come on and
get down on it.
If you really want it,
get down on it.
You gotta feel
Get down on it.
1, 2, 3, 4. Kick your dope good on the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8.
I thought I was the only one that said stuff like that.
Mom, can I have a Capri? Thank you for a Capri Sun, Mom.
Oh dear God, no! You look so happy.
pick up the meat box like pause.
I got the meat.
Mango, orange, cherry.
I'll give you the meat.
Where's the banana? I've never seen a banana.
Banana?
Hey, get your hands off me. What the fuck, you damn glizzy? I'm getting grabbed by a dingling. Hey, let's go rejoin your mother and get this fucking ass. I thought you said let's go get some ass. I would have been the first one on that helicopter. Oh!
Everybody wants to get some
Let me
ass.
hit y'all with something real quick. I have to.
would if I could.
I have to. Might as well. Feel me? Look. I ain't letting that shit ride. What you know about me? I never get high. I come up in here with the chopper and I'm about to spray. Niggas, you seen me today. I got the heat up on me, nigga. Get low. I'm coming in here and I got that crazy flow cause I'm from the Cali, nigga, and I'm big flexing. LA on my head, nigga, that's what I'm repping. But I don't gang bang. I just do my thing. I sit up at this house. I play video games. Hopping on this Black Ops. Cold War. It's a Cold War. Where your bitch at? She at the front door. Tell her to get down because I see the snakes in the background. I'm about to hit them up because I got the chopper. Hold on. The flow getting sloppy. But she give me sloppy toppy. I don't get no fucks. Nigga coming in like
sloppy
Rocky.
toppy?
Hey,
oh
the flow.
my goodness.
Fix the flow for your hoe. I don't want it no more. Go home, little bitch, cause I don't even care. Coming in, and you know I got that long hair. I don't even need these headphones on. I still spit the fucking bars with these headphones off. I'm going off. I got the chopper on me though. I ain't got no fucking gun. Yes I do. Come and see me. I'ma pull it out. You gon' run. Pull it out. You gon' dip. Pull it out. You gon' slip. Cause I fucking got grip.
He wanted to stay.
You got random fucking kids sleeping in your house. You backflipped off the TV, but you found yourself swimming in the pool. When you got out the pool, you found out your stomach was empty because you had no hair.
Wait, what?
You found out you left your hair in the toilet. But how did it get in the toilet if it was on your back?
Cause you shaved it while on the shitter.
Because I don't know what this game is about. Oh right.
Shaved his back while on the shitter.
Before I start recording. I still ain't got no hoes. What's good, Sly Cruise? Your boy Sly. Hope you having a lit day today. No, sir. We gonna pause this shit right here. Let me get on your head before everybody else in the comments do. Why your gauge hanging out your ear like that, bruh? I thought you was looking at yourself in the camera, bruh. Oh, you didn't see that? Oh, okay. Well, resume the video. Y'all see his ear. The fuck?
He fucked with him. So.
I'm gonna drink a little bit of water right now.
Gotta drink it, gotta hydrate, gotta hydrate, gotta hydrate, gotta.
I was drinking Colin Deep. Drink the ocean water. This is very good.
The ocean water is not good for you.
Come on and
get down on it.
If you really want it,
get down on it.
You gotta feel it.
Get down on it.
Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. While you're dancing, get down on it.
Get down on it. Get down on it. Baby. Get down on it.
Joined by my girlfriend.
Who's wearing
Hello,
horns?
girlfriend. Her name is Christy, and she is very happy to be here.
Yay!
She does not look comfortable.
Try not to make it seem like I'm threatening you into doing this.
People aren't falling for that anymore. Have you seen the comments? They're not falling for it.
Today we're doing a very special video. If you laugh, you get domestically abused.
Domestic abuse? My favorite.
Oh no.
Okay, you ready? The rules of this game are if you laugh, the video ends. But you have to go as long as you can without laughing.
Okay.
Because if you get it wrong, then the video's really short and I don't make any money from ads. So
Can I smile?
you can smile.
Can I giggle?
No.
If you don't want to get a black eye. Alright, ready? No, hold it together. What are you looking at? Keep your eyes on my booty.
That guy's orange shirt. It's really good.
Okay, that was a weird one to watch.
Your tongue knows
The
what
butt
everything
was
feels
thick.
like. Look around the room right now and imagine what it would be like to lick that, and you'll know exactly what it feels like. And I'll never be the same ever since.
Ah.
No, it wasn't as good as I thought it would be.
Why did you think licking my beard would be good? Great, now I'm just covered in saliva.
Ha 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 ha. Covered in saliva.
No, come back. Sorry. Uh-oh. Someone's gonna lick that pussy.
Names. My name's Isla, and I'm a nigga.
Oh, they didn't just.
Next TikTok. Don't laugh. Alright, start the timer again. Start the timer again. She can't hold it together. We're gonna have to do something about your joyful personality.
Same dude, just more edits.
Hold it together. I know you love this shit. Hold it together.
Those poor
Christy,
kitties.
God damn it. We're... Start the timer again. Start the timer again. As soon as a cat comes up. Yes, I see it.
Oh. Why would we even do a video like this?
I picked the wrong.
What's the point?
I picked the wrong person to do what you laugh and the video ends with.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Are you gonna not laugh? The video's ended like 4 fucking times already. Okay, ready? God, you are not ready at all.
Let me tell you something.
Stop. Jesus Christ.
One sec.
Is this a CIA training video or is this a bungee jumping? Holy shit.
I would not be able to do that.
Not in a chair, man. There's lots of things that are fun in chairs, but that is not one of them. Oh shit.
Ready?
Beyblades. Whoa, what the f? That guy died? Was he supposed to do that?
I'm back. Sorry about that.
This is Try Not to Laugh challenge, and you've laughed at every single fucking TikTok. She's laughing at every single one.
Bag up, Tear.
Oh shit. Oh my god. What are those little thingies? Look at him go.
Oh, that poor fucker.
I just laughed. This is the worst Try Not to Laugh video. I don't know what to say. This video has been a complete failure. A what?
A what?
Yeah, your baby.
A strawberry? A strawberry?
Baby looks like it's on crack. It's like a Smeagol looking baby.
That baby really wants that strawberry.
Baby I've ever seen.
How would you rate that?
10 cute babies out of 10 cute babies.
Put it on 3 minutes just in case. Okay.
Go.
I think the volume is still turned down. Oh, sorry, I kicked that.
What the f was that?
There we go. That's better.
Cat dad see his baby. What the f? I kind of feel the same way looking at that thing though. That is a disgusting wet little rat.
It's just been born. Give it a fucking break.
Look how the dad is reacting.
Well,
Disgusting.
Men are
Disgusting.
This is either dead fish or strawberry banana.
Why would you pull that shit with the little one?
What the f?
That kid just dropped an F-bomb!
Alright, you know what? This is no longer a you laugh and the video ends video because we've failed way too many times.
Do you boys like peanut butter?
Quiet.
What the shit?
That thing is trying to eject a demon from within him.
What are they putting in this stuff?
Do not feed him after midnight. It's gonna go straight down her arm.
Oh, maybe that's better.
Oh.
Oh, no. I don't.
Oh.
Is this a,
Made a
like
mistake.
a medieval
Stop
thing?
thinking about it and just do it.
Oh, there. Okay. 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 Nope.
Oh.
You don't.
Oh, it's a chipmunk.
Oh, the first time. Nope. That way.
Alvin, you little shit. I was not expecting that.
Man, that was some freedom.
Freedom will be mine! Is the volume better now? You're the wrong color to be saying that.
Look at his face. That is evil villain
God, a
shit right
cat.
there.
Look at those eyes. Something's happened behind
He's
them
conniving.
eyes.
He's conniving. What the hell is this?
Oh, she's not filming. She identifies the camera. So,
Do
look
you
at me.
identify as a camera?
She's just. She does not get paid enough for this shit.
What is that? Look at the bookshelf. What does that sign say above it?
Podlit.
Pop lit. I think it means no. It means pop literature, not pop lit, fam. Oh, this is the worst idea I've ever seen. But it is definitely something I could see happening in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually
Definitely.
filling. Look, it's leaking out.
Oh no!
I've seen a lot of fake videos and I've got a finely tuned bullshit detector, but this is real.
Florida man!
You know that this is really dangerous, right?
What are you doing, dude?
You know that this is really not safe.
I like how the British guy comes in with his phone camera,
You know this is very
trying
dangerous.
to talk some sense into Florida Man. Has he never heard of Florida Man before? There's an entire
Florida
movement.
The definition of send it.
It just shows how strong those actual fucking things are.
Whoa, the dude's still going.
And he's just.
Okay, that's what we're doing. That's what we're working
Bye.
with.
Touch it.
Grandpa's reaction to a fake cake.
What do you think? Oh no.
What is it?
Foam, maybe?
Styrofoam.
Oh, what was a joke?
It is. It's styrofoam.
He's wondering, why the fuck are you doing this?
That was you at the start of this. If you laugh, you lose video. Oh look, here's a cat video.
I am Grandpa.
What kind is this?
I know, that's chocolate milk.
Yeah, that's chocolate milk.
That's good shit.
Why is that baby like a 40-year-old man?
He's very distinguished.
That's good shit.
Yeah, he has like the body language of
And his face. What the hell, man? This is like Benjamin Button. Okay, well that is enough fucking TikToks.
That was
okay,
adorable.
We're not doing any more.
None. Ever again.
No, I'm never
we
doing.
are never doing this ever
I'm never
again.
doing a you
I
laugh
quit.
and the video ends video with you because you laughed like literally like 15 seconds into the video.
Well, I quit.
Thanks for joining us, Christy. Everyone wave goodbye. Now go make me a sandwich. I'm hungry.
Make me a sandwich.
Make me a sandwich.
Can you order some
Bitch.
Korean food?
Yes. Okay, this is the last link I'm clicking on. I swear.
I'm not a blood. I'm a crip.
And then we raid.
Take off your jeans.
You take off your jeans.
Bezel. While whispering in your ear, aw. While whispering in your ear, aw. Aw. I'm in your weapon
Until
room.
Friday,
I'm
it's
strapped
art
in
and
your weapon
reactions.
room. Oh,
Actually, this Friday I have a special collab with 3 other VTubers. Where I will be streaming with Clem, Donnie, and Kochi. At and we're going to be playing Uno Truth or Dare.
At least beat cheeks. At least if you gonna.
And yes, ghost peppers and stuff are on the list.
I'm out this bitch. I'm not a blood. I'm a crip.
So yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm very much looking forward to doing that stream on Friday. But for now, we raid. Thank you for the follow. I really do appreciate the $5 a day that you're giving me. It feels fantastic. It's going right up the jacksie, just like I like them. Okay, and we're going for S&P for the raid.
I've never seen anything like it.
Not
frightened by a bear.
I'm gonna make a bagel. Okay, well you enjoy your bagel. In the meantime, we're gonna raid. And I like to have a set raid message, if that's alright with you. Yeah, I got ads too. PYRUSSYRAID. Then a copy. Then
So if you guys are wondering what's happening, we're waiting for butter.
okay, this is the raid message, so you can all copy it up. And we shall raid, and it will be awesome. Hope it's not a verified account, it's only chat. I don't think so. It looks like it's open. Okay. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. It's been fantastic. I really do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. I shall see you on Friday, or for those of you in America, Thursday. And let us raid, bitches. Let us raid, motherfuckers. Let's raid. Piracy raid. Let's go.
Oh my god.
Piracy raid, yeah.
Pyra! Dude. Harusi. I swear, every time you raid me, it's always such a funny, that your clips scared me. How do you say your name? Witter Mar. What? I'll just say chapter. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome aboard the Astro Ship. Pyra, thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream?
It was.
Oh, you were doing art? Oh, weren't you talking about your art like recently? I think you were talking about it recently though. I tried. It was good. Are you gonna be posting your art on Twitter? Because I need to check that out. Thank you so much for raiding. I appreciate you raiding me and choosing me to raid. I really appreciate it a lot. And I always love your raid messages because they're always so funny. I just finished my first poster. What was the poster? If I don't respond to your chat right away, I'm very sorry. But hello raiders,